Welcome to Nycos D&D, the I-9 COVID incursion episode of Slopes of Shatterhorn. Today's episode, The Cold. Uh, where we haven't yet done our story so far, of course, we're just getting started, so I would have my players in character alphabetical order. Give your character name, class, and uh, let's see, what's a good question?
I'm last.
What would you do with a gallon of limb? So that would be heart first.
Heart. Heart is heart. Heart helps. Gallon of limb goes to the V8.
Sounds fair.
Peekaboo, you're next.
I don't see what you guys see on the thing. It's different for everybody. Hi, I'm a documenter. I play Peekaboo, and Peekaboo does not know what limb is.
Even though you're looking at a lake of it now, you just haven't been told what it was.
I'm looking at it. It doesn't mean I know anything.
True.
I have completely zero memory of anything.
Peekaboo, he said alphabetical order, and P comes after H, and V comes after U.
I did not hear that part. My bad.
And that's okay. I just was clarifying that if we shook up the alphabet, they're still going to fall out the same order, alphabetically.
Got
Yep. I'm Valara Erendisa Borson. I am a human being, but not from Nycos. I am a fighter ranger, is my build. And what would I do with a gallon of limb? I'd rip this hand off me, stick my hand in what's left it back into the limb, and see if I can get at least a silver hand back. Because I don't like what's happening.
Well, you're kind of buried underneath a mountain of limbs, so that could work.
Yeah, I
That's
understand.
true. All you do is just open that floodgate and let it all in.
No.
Oh, that's right. Heart came up with a plan to save them.
Yes,
That's
I
pretty
did.
He has to know that they're stuck, right?
Let's see, it was myself and one other person was in there.
Wasn't it Peekaboo? I thought Peekaboo
Freya.
was with you. Oh, Freya
I
went
thought
with
Freya went in.
you? All
Freya
right.
clearly went down the deep dark hole that no one wanted to go down.
Yep, that last staircase. I'm going down there to check it out. The long ladder into
Yeah.
the dark.
Peekaboo was hanging back and playing her harmonica.
Yes, and watching the little plants, the little silver plants, I remember.
They were turning into bells.
And butterflies.
Bells.
Bells and butterflies.
Butterflies.
Okay, both. I did not
Bells,
remember.
butterflies, and bumper stickers.
And leaves.
And leaves that flutter.
And bananas.
No bananas.
And bongos.
This episode of Slopes of Shatterhorn is brought to you by the letter B.
Because be beautiful.
Of course, we could use now the word be labor, and Travis is giving us a demonstration.
Haha.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, and Gene's
Bonkers.
joining in the be labor.
Babaloo, let's go.
All right, so they've been gone for a good hour and a half. No sign of them coming back.
Heart's gonna go over there and poke the limb.
Okay, you
Poke.
push at it, and it moves away from your finger like usual.
Where are friends? Poke, 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 poke. 7 times.
Yep.
Where are friends?
Oh, me?
No, I'm poking
You-
the limb, trying to ask
you,
them.
You see him down by the water's edge, trying to touch it, and every time he puts his finger in, the liquid pulls away from him.
Got it. I'm still curiously looking at the
Bells and butterflies and
in bongos.
Yes.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jacob. And Mary, what are you doing? I mean, yeah, not Mary. Goodness gracious. Valara, what are you doing?
On
uh,
the
nothing right now. I can't open these doors and go out.
That's true.
She tries to find a way up.
Well, there is that other automated unit inside, isn't there? The automaton you could talk to.
Yeah, she goes back to talk to it.
How may you have surfaced?
Is there a way up out of here? There seems to be a problem at the lower door that it is covered by silver stuff, the limb.
Hmm. Well, there is a pressure issue just below at the filter. If you want to clear the filter, then you could turn the pumps back on.
They do that?
No, they chose to not turn the pumps on because they realized that if they did, then
It would let the limb
Ah.
in. What other way is for access out?
oh, the emergency exits are below. Besides that, aren't you preparing for departure? It's less than an hour before departure.
And how will I depart?
Oh, by the craft as usual. Simply raise the take the elevator up to the um, top of the craft and enter the
Command module, whatever.
Yeah, the module. I can't remember I don't know why.
Console.
Capsule. That was the word I was looking for.
Oh. I can't show them that I don't know where that is. I don't think I should, because then take me as an outsider.
Well, they think they think you're her. They think you're
I know, Tabitha.
Tabitha.
She will try to find this way up.
Well, you'll see. You'll come to the base of that. Well, there's the doorway into that room, but that door's block completely shut with the liquid limb outside. You can see it. The silver liquid up against the door.
So I can't go up that way.
You don't
So
even, you don't even know if you can open that one because that one's got all that pressure on the outside of that door. It doesn't actually have what should have been the equivalent of an airlock. There is not because all of that equipment in there got obliterated by the explosion earlier.
Okay. So that's out. She'll go back to the other door that they came in. I hope the others get an idea that we are stuck here. And if not, we will die here.
Who's we? It's just you, because what's her name abandoned you, as typical Freya does. Took off down the ladder.
Okay. Yeah, there's basically nothing I can do with the limb blocking every passage that she has.
Think of any way to get a message out.
Okay, the two of you have been sitting up there now for 2 hours without any response from below.
Heart's going to take a cautious step into the Lake of Lim.
Okay. As you take your cautious step, the lake can't quite pull back far enough because there's just the sheer mass of it. So you start to feel it kind of splash over the outside of you. And what's really odd is that is registering as nothing. There's no, it doesn't, you would think you would feel the weight or the mass of it, and you're not getting that. You're not getting a temperature differential. It's like you're passing through air, but there's not even the slightest hint of wind current.
So it's not touching me.
Right.
Okay. He's going to walk into the limb.
Okay, so Peekaboo, you're watching the automaton, the mech, walking into the liquid.
I go to helping save friends.
Okay. Pretty soon you're completely immersed in the stuff.
He tries to walk down the corridor towards where the door was.
All right, you eventually bump into it and can find the actual shaft. You find that it's completely filled with the stuff as well.
Is-
Down to that first airlock.
He's going to try to activate the airlock again to see if it'll flush some of the limb out.
Yeah, it won't function.
He's going to knock at the internal door
Okay.
7 times.
Okay. Valara, go ahead and make a perception test.
Okay.
14, DC 14.
Okay, I have an 11 and I know I have. Oh, let me grab her. Not a great roll, but not a bad roll. Laura. It's a +4, so it's a total of a 15.
Yeah, you definitely hear the knocking on the passage.
She knocks back. Isn't there a glass in that thing?
You're an airlock separated, remember, because you came through the first airlock and then what's her name left it open. Because you were going to go back that way.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knocks.
Yes. And then she knocks back 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All good knockers go to heaven. What?
He's going to try one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 7.
Okay. I can't translate this very well. It's fine. Dun 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 dun.
So shaving a haircut.
Dun
Yep.
dun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shave and a haircut. 2 bits.
He's going to try. So is it like a circular ratchet airlock?
Yep.
And the outer door to the limb won't close.
Right.
Okay, he's going to go back to the surface
Okay.
and get the environmental suits
Okay.
and bring them back down with him.
Right, because you got to think you're gonna bring in 2 people back. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Poor Peekaboo's just sitting there looking at the plants as this robot goes walking by with 2
what
spacesuits.
can I do? What can I do?
Yep.
How can I form an airtight seal?
I just kind of keep guard, I guess.
You know, you have the capsule. It's a big
I
thing.
do, but
And it is man-made.
True, I don't know how to use it.
it's buoyant,
Yeah.
especially on metal.
It's also man-made, and we don't know exactly how. Well, we know it's not necessarily volatile with the limb.
So what is preventing the outer door from closing?
You didn't see anything mechanical. It's just that since the limb got inside, it basically found a way to prevent it. Remember, the agenda is to get in, so it's not giving back any ground it gains.
If I open up the door, it's just going to flood in.
Not necessarily. The issue is we don't know what its response will be to pressurization. If the space inside is pressurized, it may keep it out. It may actually, arguably, force bubbles out. You can't from your positions detect whether or not the space beyond is a positive pressurization or not.
Well, he only has one choice, and that's to try to open the door at least.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be prepared to try to force it closed with all his strength if he needs to, if it starts forcing its way in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's going to slowly start turning the knob, but not open it until it's fully unlatched.
Well, unfortunately, that the way those things work is they're a seal, so that you unwind the seal and then you literally have to yank on it to pull it open or whatever. So
Right.
okay.
But he's trying to feel the seal to see if it's squirting through or if he can manage to open it up for a moment.
Okay. So, Gene, from where you are, the tunnel you're looking out into through that glass door, down at the end of it, you see the seal give way, and then what had been the placid surface of the well, let me rephrase that. From your angle, you don't see anything except for the door fly open, and there's like a wall of froth beyond it. From your perspective, Travis, as soon as you open it, the air starts to actively interact with the limb in a rather violent nature. You're not sure why, but there's like it clouds the area around you, and all of a sudden you can feel contact with air pressure, basically along your front edge, your leading edge into the passageway.
He's going to try to push the suits through.
Okay, so you see one of at first part of one, and then the second of the AVA suits pushed through the doorway.
Okay.
They're splotched a little bit with the limb, mainly because the EVA suits had dust and dirt on them, and the dirt would have reacted. But for the most part, they're fairly pristine. And then behind them, you can see one of his actuator arms as he's pushing them through before he follows them into the chamber.
Okay, she grabs an actuator arm. I mean, she runs up there and
you have to open this seal. Remember, this is the other end of the airlock, so you got to open this end to go down there.
Okay, she opens it up. She races down, grabs environmental suits, and goes back and shuts the door.
Okay, there's a whole lot that happens in that time period because you're going from one airlock to another. When you open your end, there's going to be a vacuum-like effect as the air from your section, which is passive, is being pulled into that pressurized chamber.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
no. He's gonna say.
He's yelling no.
Yeah. When he sees her opening the
interior door.
The interior door.
Okay, she shuts the door.
Okay. So once you got the two suits in, now with the pressurization differential somewhat regulated by the door that she opened for a few seconds, a little bit of the limb starts to pour in on the floor.
He's going to try to pull the outer door closed.
Okay. And it's a bit of a struggle because there is limb in the way, and you can see that it actually is trying to harden, but it can't hold a solid form, so you're able to eventually pull it closed and break off that portion. When you do, the limb inside falls inert to the ground as if it's lifeless.
Still in like a crystalline form?
No, it's still liquid, but it was like it's trying to harden as a liquid, but it wasn't reaching enough pressure to do so. But when you finally pulled it closed, it was cut off from whatever was inside is sealed off from that which is outside, and so it makes whatever's inside inert.
Okay, so he's going to lock the outside door,
right,
and then move to the inside door, open that,
and he's also you're dragging the suits down the rest of the way to where she is, right?
Right.
Okay.
They're in my back 2 arms, and
Yep. So he picks them, carries them the rest of the way down, and now he's like at the door where you can open, Miri.
Okay.
I did it again,
She.
Valara.
Sorry, Valara. Yes, Valara. Valara opens it up from her side and lets him in.
he's going to step in and then hands her the suits.
All right. By the way, let's see if we can collect that limb that just dropped off in there, so we can have more fuel for the V8.
We need it not.
We need it not. Okay.
We have a full tank plus 2 extra however many
Cans.
gallon cans.
Okay.
It couldn't hurt to have more.
Yes, it
Yeah,
can.
yeah, it can, because it just becomes a heavy burden, and you've already loaded up all the containers you have.
It's like, it's also dangerous. It's kind of like carrying around nitroglycerin, it seems.
I don't know where Freya went. She wanted to go off exploring, and I haven't seen her since then.
Freya!
You wacky little elder.
Freya!
No answers.
Freya, you fool!
Do we search for her?
No, you're not there.
The two, you and Peekaboo are still on the surface.
You couldn't have gone into the limb and survived.
Well,
Unless you get
Freya will leave an EVA suit here for when she gets back.
Good plan.
Yeah, that's what was going to
Because
be my suggestion.
I'm sure eventually she will come back up and put it on and leave. This is what I'm
Because she's
Okay.
putting out in the universe that I hope will happen.
Okay. She takes
Do
time.
you have paper?
Yes. She takes time to get out a piece of paper and write her a note.
Okay.
You
Put
idiot.
on the EVA
Put on the
suit.
suit.
Open up this seal, close it.
Right,
Go
you
to the
tell her how to do
outer
it. I got
door. Yeah, go to the outer door, open it up. Once you leave, there'll probably be no returning. Hopefully the limb will let you through. And you can go to where you last saw us. Straight ahead was the shot.
Is there anything here we need?
He's asking you, Valara.
Really nothing. I did pick up I found something interesting when we found the filter, but we decided not to turn the pumps back on and not let the limb inside here. We may want to examine this place further, and if we can find a way to vent the limb somewhere else. But anyway, she puts the helmet of the EVA shield on, fastens it down. I'm in your hands, Hart.
As always. He picks her up princess style and then uses his other arms to open the inner door, lock the inner door, move to the outer door, and then cautiously starts to open it and move out before closing it behind him.
Now, in this case, because the pressurization was again destabilized by opening the inner door, even more of the liquid will pour in. Maybe 10 or 12 gallons get past you before you can get the door closed.
Cut it off. She'll help. Oh, no, she's in her hands, but I guess she could use her arms.
He'll close the outside door.
Okay, it's a bit of a struggle, but again, you get it closed enough to verify that there's a seal on it.
Yeah. Tries to twist it closed and then begins to walk back upwards out of the lake.
Okay. So eventually, you guys will emerge back out on the surface next to Peekaboo, who's kind of surprised. It's the only one suit come back.
Yep, I kind of am just like looking for the other one.
Freya gone.
kind of slump.
Taking vacation. Gone fishing.
With the nuclear reference, gone fission.
Ha. 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 Heart heard joke.
I'm not hearing the same joke. Anyway, she gets out of the EVA suit and shakes off any excess slim into the lake. And thank you, Hart.
He's gonna go
Well-
back over to the surface of the limb
Uh-huh.
and pat it 7 times and say, "Be nice to Freya. Let her out." And then walk away.
After she gets everything off, we went in, we worked together. She kept on wanting to go down this ladder that led it deeper into the installation, but it wasn't what we were in there for. I found out why the limb wanted us to clean off the filter. It couldn't get through it because there were crystals growing on the inside of the filter. And they were of 6 colors. Does it mean anything? Never mind.
Colors?
Yes, colors of the rainbow. And when she scraped them off, or she used mage hand to scrape them off, they all fell into piles of their own color. When I scraped them off with my crowbar, they fell all mixed. I have some of the mixed crystals, but
No, you packed in your bag all 6.
okay. No, I took mixed crystals. She had a bag that had separate pockets, and she put them in separate pockets. So she has all the separated ones.
No,
I have
okay,
them.
You have both.
I have both.
Yes, she packaged it, but she gave it to you to carry because we all realized how wonderfully responsible she has
Freya
been.
is.
Right.
Okay, so I have those. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but
She didn't want to steal the opportunity of having them from you.
Right.
That's
Oh.
against her code.
anyway, we could wait a while, but
You've learned to hold out, not hold out hope when people don't when people vanish. If they come back,
Yeah.
they come back of their own accord or whatever.
I'm not going to jeopardize the whole group.
Where do we go now?
I would like to go south. I'd like to. She takes out her map. She says, to the west, there's green. To the south, there's green. Just what is the shortest route with the least problems?
South, around the mountain.
Okay. You know, we'd have to go through the. Would we have to go through that valley with all those ice worms again, or can we find another route? Can we skirt around by Anchorage without going into it?
Oh yeah,
And
you don't have to go to Anchorage, but if you go towards Anchorage, you're more than likely going to. You're going to go through the worms if you go the way that you came. So if you went back through to the mountain pass that you came in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
met the 6 dudes. That's where the worms were. 'Cause that's where you found
Yeah.
the V8. So
I just assume not have to go through that mess again.
you can go any direction you want.
Straight up.
Straight north.
North to where?
I didn't say north.
He said straight up. That's what he said.
Fly
They-
away.
Actually, they said there is a capsule taking off in a couple hours, and I was supposed to be on it because they thought I was Tabitha. I pretended to be Tabitha because that is shall we say, a recognizable person with authority to be there.
You lied?
I did.
Oh boy.
Inward gasp.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I was going to pretend to be me when the first time they said they don't have absolutely no idea who I am? Do you think we would have been free to move around that place? We
I know
wouldn't
not.
have.
I only know it was foolish to go in the first place. Anyways,
You know something, Hart?
back on the V8.
I think you're right. However, there is a capsule taking off very
Peekaboo, they're
soon.
boarding the V8 again.
I hop on. I or
Everyone back on the family van.
I go over and hop on.
All right.
Okay, so
Do you call shotgun? I totally would.
Sure, I'd call shotgun.
She has the shotgun.
I only have 6 bullets. You have to wait till they come close.
She actually gives the little
Yes.
girl the shotgun.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Give the halfling the shotgun. It's longer than
I
she's
can't.
tall.
I do the dumbest thing, and I actually have the barrel looking
You're
inside.
looking at
No,
the
no,
barrels.
no, 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 no. Never mind. What weapons are you good with?
I pull out my harmonica.
Lethal at any range with one of these.
Jake,
Yes.
what weapons are you good with?
I'm usually good with my sword and longbow and crossbow.
Yeah,
I
he
show-
remember he was shooting the zombies.
Yeah.
I show a short bow and a cross and
I thought your
and
name
a
was
dagger.
Rocky. You
Oh.
are. You got the wrong name up there.
It's
Oh,
Rocky.
sorry.
Rocky something.
Jake was on the train.
Sorry, I messed up.
You need to get a good picture for Rocky.
I know.
Hart begins to. He plugs back into the V8
Mm-hmm.
and prepares to depart.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Oh yeah, found it. Well,
Rocky.
actually, yeah, short sword and longbow.
Okay.
Yes. Anyways. So we depart.
Going where?
If not up, then down.
Okay, but I don't want to go through the ice worms again.
We don't go through the ice worms again.
Okay.
Follows the map, plotting shortest course outside of worms.
Outside of worms. I gotta pull up my map. Where are we headed, though? This is a big open ice plain. I need to know where you're headed.
Well,
Nowhere in particular.
Well, towards.
Are you familiar with
blue-
that place?
No.
Nowhere. It's a place. In
I've
particular,
been
we're going there.
No. There. I don't think we can get there.
But if you pronounce nowhere the other way, it's now here, and you're already here.
Oh, great. Let's get out.
You roll forward 12 feet. No, here. Whoa, see, we're
Okay.
here already.
He looks at the map. Okay. Let's head to the west.
Why the west? Wait. We're not just picking random directions. Let's actually decide on where the hell we're going. That would be
Okay.
nice.
I need to see a map reference. Could you put up the map and kind of show us where we are? That way I can figure out which way to go.
Sure.
Do you need me to do it?
No. Just calm down.
Well, I just mean I don't know if you doing it will goof the stream or anything.
It won't with the stream. All I do is turn on a button.
Okay.
Okay, it's on. It's on now. If you open the Twitch channel, you can see it.
Twitch?
Yeah. Yes. Make sure you mute the volume on it. The live
I
stream.
don't. Actually, what I'll do is go to Discord and get it.
Oh, that works
Here.
too.
Oh, I don't
I just
know.
posted the file in the chat, so you can open up that.
Okay, I don't know how to open it.
You
Click on it.
Click on chat. Open the box. Then you
Okay.
click on the thing that says Nycos.
What it's trying to do is save it.
Yeah, it's got to before you can open it. But then you have it on your machine now, so you won't have to worry about asking for it anymore.
Cancel. Nycos. I don't. My computer is doing something. Alternate. Let me get. Cancel, 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 cancel. I don't know what's happening. It says alternates panel, and it does a whole bunch of stuff on it. Okay, let me go down to Nycos. Nycos would be right in here somewhere. There. Nycos map is already exists. You want to replace it? No. Open. Okay. So I see a bunch of like arrowheads all the way around.
Those are mountains. Those are mountains.
Those are mountains. Okay. So where in this place are we? I know
Do you see the word cryopathia?
No, I'm not on that map. Let me get you another map. I need the old map.
Where would you like to go, Gene?
To the nearest green area. You know where life
That'd be
is.
right down towards Inandara.
Okay.
Right where you guys ran into those guys before.
Yeah, but that's okay. Shortly beyond there was a town.
Or there's a tiny little green square by Concordia.
Okay, let's go that way. What's Concordia?
It's in the middle of ice and it's one green square. I don't know what it is.
Well, maybe that will help us a bit, at least to get there.
It's a long way away.
Oh.
How many hexes?
Take us near to Anchorage. We'll go around the corner and down the coast.
We're 1, 2, 3 blocks from Anchorage. And
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks from Anchorage to the nearest green place.
Okay. Oh. How long do you think we'll be able to travel with the limb that we have?
We should make it there. No problem. Because it was
Okay.
only like a couple of gallons to get to here from...
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I told you it was. Trying to do the math here. 40 times 8. Yeah, it's 10 hexes you can make on a tank. I think you just described it as 9 to get to where she wanted to go.
Let me see. 1, 2. Let me plot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 hexes to go straight down to the green.
Okay.
Is that what we want to do?
Honestly, Hart, I don't know.
In meta, what do we want to do?
That's a better question. Peekaboo, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna look from afar and see what the party.
No, the question is, what do you, as a player in the meta, want to do? What does your character want to do in life? In this point, you are finally free of the limb. You've answered any questions that they had about the limb.
Sorry about that. No, just figure out why. Find what were my memories.
Any hooks? Anyone got a hook?
Are we all smooth? Is that what we're saying? That everyone's smooth now? Holy crap!
Uh,
Welcome to being a piece of
she only
sand.
wants to be someplace where there is life, but not the type that are so anti-tech. She doesn't know if she'll ever find it because Heart is tech and this V8 is tech. Of course, it's going to eventually run out of limb, and we don't necessarily have a source of limb. So,
I'm
except
sure we'll figure it out.
she did hear the call that you can gather Vex in a funnel and a collector. And she heard that, but she doesn't understand. A funnel she understands, a collector she does not. So until she can find out that piece of information, there's no way to gather limb and keep the V8 running. And I'm stuck. Story-wise, I'm stuck because I have no direction to go except perhaps keeping Heart away from the people that want to.
This is fascinating. This is the first group I've ever had that actually has found themselves in a sandbox.
Yeah. But she wants to go south because she wants to get to living land. This she does not consider living land. This is existing and survival land. Things will be easier if she gets people to places where they can go to, or so we can all stay together in a less hostile environment. So that was her drive to go south now, is to get Hart to a place where he's not threatened by the denizens of the local area.
Heart's not threatened.
They want to undo you. They want to dismantle you. They don't want to have him. And I won't let that happen, Hart. You are too valuable.
You could have stopped while you were ahead.
No,
It's okay.
she is using the word valuable as each one of these people is valuable to the group as a whole.
How about we go to Eros? That sounds nice.
All right, you set the course. We're going.
Well, we only have enough to get to the green, so we'll get to the green and we'll have 1/8, 1/10 of a tank left.
Okay.
So we're
all right. So we're going to head south across the ice. Well,
he's going to, before we depart, take some of the toboggans and snow appropriate things and leave them behind. Just a little, just a few. He sees Valara and he's wondering if her people have a tendency to become hoarders.
No. But
when it starts to restrict your living space, it's worrying. Plus, then Freya can use a toboggan to catch up with us.
Only if she goes downhill.
Toboggan and a set of skis and a set of
snowshoes.
Ski pushers.
Well, and a
chicken.
Tarp,
yeah,
a tarp she can use for a sail.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe her Orsoid will find her in time.
Okay. So, John, you see the ring of green around that one spot of...
Stand by and I'll pull it up. Just double check. Okay, the green.
Do you see just above Inandara, there's that one patch of white in between the three ring of trees?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to that furthest ring of trees on the right.
Got it. Okay.
So the hex of trees right there. That's where we're headed. That's the 9th space.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, Ruba Zoom Zoom.
All right.
I need the original map. That's the problem.
The original map is the original map is on the Discord.
On which Splinter Speak or?
Yeah.
Or... Okay, I'm
No,
going.
it may be Discovery Channel, but I put it in one of those two places.
I
It's
remember.
fine. It's fine, Gene. It's fine. Just
Okay.
for now, we'll find it for you later.
Thank you.
It's in admin ideas.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yep, there it is.
How do I get to admin ideas?
You may not be able to. That's what he's saying. It's
Ah, okay.
Just hold your horses. I know you're good at that.
I'm very good at it. I told you I drove a 4-in-hand chariot of Frisian horses.
That's why I said it.
That's about 4 tons of horses on the hoof.
all right. You're not talking about the gray trees. You're talking about the green trees, right? Just clarifying.
Yes.
Yes. Gotcha. Okay. So you're crossing through the snows, and although we are already past the point of the beginning of spring, nonetheless, this second day arrives with windstorm and blowing blizzardy conditions.
Should we camp there overnight before we leave, and then see if she'll come? And I don't know. Never mind. Blizzardy conditions.
Yeah, let's leave her to come on her own terms because I don't want to deal with it for now. Because if not, if we bring her along, then we have. You know what? I don't care. Put her in the suit in the back. I don't like doing that, but sure.
Okay.
Because I don't want to deal with the burden of the other part either. So, but she may not be coming back on this day of the week because this is when her Bible studies are. So that's why I was saying she wanted us to switch this to the earlier in the day so that she could play in this one.
Well, we'll figure it out.
All right.
Okay. Blizzardy conditions.
Yeah, percentage dice each, please. 3 times.
7 times?
3 times.
Everyone?
Each person, a maximum of 1 time each, to a total of 3 rolls.
So wait. I got 86 for the first one.
Who rolled the second? Somebody?
Okay, out 7 on my first one.
Okay, that's the second one. That's fine. Out 7.
Third. For me, I roll 52.
Okay. So the bad weather only slows you somewhat. It doesn't require any additional fuel. Just means you have to be a little bit more cautious. But noon on the second day, the ice shelf that you're traveling on. What's that? Yes, ice shelf.
Ice shelf.
I knew you were going to go there. Has cracked, and there is a crevasse opening between you and the course you're trying to go on. The melts have begun, and the ice structure has somewhat broken a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
We could try up higher to see if maybe there's a place where the ice crack stops, and we can get across and step across.
Is there a path we can continue ahead?
Well, no, you'd either have to traverse it and leave the V8 here, or you're going to have to circle around the crack.
Then we'll have to circle around the crack.
Okay, looking at the map, you're going to want to move towards the mountain instead of away from the mountain because the gap might theoretically open even wider the farther what that be west that you go. So you'll want to.
Okay, that's not too far out of our.
Okay, yeah, it'll stay within the hex. You're not going that much farther, but again, it's going to be a bit of a delay time-wise.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in no rush particularly.
As you're passing by, however, you do see a flash of bluish light from down below.
In the crack?
In the crack, in the crevasse, as if there's something illuminating the ice from below.
Should we check that out?
Does blue light mean anything to anybody?
No.
Maybe
Maybe I was trying to think back.
Is it still blizzardy outside?
Oh, yes. Horrible weather.
To protect you, Hart will go and look.
Be careful.
So he'll cautiously get out and quickly close the door behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he will cautiously move towards the edge.
Dex check at 12.
Way past.
Okay. The ice here has broken fairly cleanly, and it's kind of disturbing because it suggests that the ice here is not the standard traditional rime ice that you expect from a glacier, but this is like river ice, like the water was pouring through here, but when it was frozen quickly. So the ice looks like it's extremely fragile. Below, in the glow of the light down below, you see what looks to be either it's a river actually flowing below, or a body of people marching. It's a weird fluid motion, but it's staccato in its nature. So it looks like choppy waves on the top of water, but that makes no sense underneath ice.
What do you see down there?
You're inside the ship. The V8.
He's shouting at the glass.
He's gonna just cursory activate his life sensor, but he knows it's not gonna reach.
Yeah, no, don't detect anything in that term, and the thermals indicate that ice shouldn't have cracked. The temperature at the surface of the ice is well below freezing, so there's no reason for it to crack like it did naturally.
Oh dear. Well, he's gonna go back to the V8 because he can't see of anything to do with it. And they're moving into Cryopatria or from Cryopatria. Is the movement going northward or the movement going southward?
Well, the river's flowing from the mountain range towards the coast, so it's like an east-west kind of river. Underneath it's parallel. That's why it's paralleling your course, because you're headed southbound, and this crevasse was across your path.
Okay.
And so you're looking down the length of the crevasse, and that's where it's moving. So it's moving from west towards the east.
And that was what the light was.
It appears to be coming from that motion. Yes. It's
like some reflection from it or something.
Yes, and it's a rhythmic pattern repeating itself. So every so many seconds, there's a flash of blue light from down below.
Okay. He's gonna go back into the V8.
Okay. As you get back towards the vehicle, for half a second on the horizon, you think not even at the horizon, probably 100 yards away, you could have swore you just saw a biped standing looking at you. approximately 22 inches tall.
What? What is that?
You look at your sensors again, and it doesn't show any life signs. But then again, in another second of clearing in the blowing of the snow, you sure enough do see a 22-inch tall being standing on top of the snow, a long, long, maybe 3 foot long spear in its hand, leather gloves, leather clothing, but nowhere near the kind of gear for this type of weather. But its eyes are dark. It seems a bit wicked looking as far as it looks. There's got a baleful look on its face.
He's gonna get back into the V8.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna tell them about what he saw. That there is a motion down below. He couldn't tell if it was water or armored troops or something moving in step, but it's moving east-west from the mountains down to the seaside. And that
Moving to the east from the west.
it's very strange. And then there was a approximately 22-inch figure standing out in the snow with a spear, who looked rather malicious.
Should we prepare in case?
Or we leave.
Let's leave.
Yeah.
Store the information away. What creatures are on your world that
Any manner of thing could be 22 inches high.
okay. So you have yes, but Rocky,
Peekaboo, you are small. What else is small? She's asleep.
Peekaboo.
No worries.
Peekaboo.
So he starts the engine and gets a going.
Okay.
We
So,
maneuver closer to the mountain to
yep.
find a place where it's
Yeah.
not cracked.
You finally get past the crevasse. At this point it was narrow enough that you could roll over it. There was kind of a sickening creaking and cracking and groaning sound as you went over it, but it seems to be holding. And,
Okay.
And as you clear it and you start to climb up that next ascent along the edge of that rocky cleft to make it out into that secondary flat. And as you climb onto that secondary flat, you see campfires for close to a mile. There must be 75 to 100 campfires lit. And by campfire, I'm meaning bonfire type lights.
Up here.
This force was not here when you passed by here 3 days ago.
What is the
Forest?
force made of?
Distance, little tiny figures. Similar to the baleful one you saw a few moments ago. You actually have realized that there have been scattered along the hillside, basically skirmish lines of them, and you just kind of rolled over them or rolled through them, and you're looking down on what must be the main body of some kind of military force.
Is there a way that they can go out of sight of them and continue on their path?
Well, you'd have to roll around it, and more than likely you've already crossed. As I said, you've more than likely already run over what would be their skirmish lines, and nothing could have stopped the V8 anyway. And you were probably rolling fast enough you wouldn't have even noticed them at first.
The thing is, can we keep rolling?
He'll try.
If not, the only thing to do is go
He's going
around.
to try to avoid them as best as he can.
Okay. Well, clearly the size and type of vehicle should be enough to scare them off, and yet the first ones you come in contact with physically basically have been they were like running on an intercept path and just on a diagonal to your course, and although most of them can't catch up with you, they do throw rocks and spears at you. which of course is kind of pointless. The machine just kind of shrugs them off. But you
They
calculate.
seem rather angry.
Well, yeah, they seem determined. And so you're
If I can get a good look at some of them.
well, Peekaboo and Rocky can tell you what they are as soon as they see them. You wouldn't recognize them because it's the first time you would have come in contact with them, but they appear to be goblins.
Hmm.
And with that number of fires, there had to be more than 2 or 3,000 of them, maybe more than that.
Oh dear.
Good or bad are these people?
They
Well,
don't seem very nice.
The word goblin is it translates well from English.
Oh, those things.
Angry little creatures that do mischief.
Okay, keep on going. But what is such a group doing up here?
An army.
An
With
army.
skirmish lines.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and as you roll over the next ridge, you see yet again a similar scene. So even though you're trying to skirt them, the farther you go east, the more you're finding of them.
I thought we were going south.
Yeah.
You have to circle them. You just said.
Oh.
And my point is that you start to circle around them, and you just realize that their force has interdicted basically 3 hexes across.
Let's go straight through them. It just doesn't seem to make any difference right now.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And we are headed south.
We floor it.
Okay, and go ahead and make a dex check at 12.
Oh.
This is for the vehicle, actually. So
18 plus whatever
okay.
to add.
So you rumble over the first of their. They obviously dug some kind of a trap to try to stop the vehicle. It grinds over the top of it to the chagrin of the goblins, who are. You can actually hear the rocks smashing against the vehicle, and fortunately, the glass and stuff is meant to handle atmospherics and torrential rains and such. So a few rocks and sticks falling against it don't really hurt it much. But you see banners for probably dozens and dozens of different cliques and tribes within the group of the goblins. But more importantly, you see some that don't have any banners, but they also don't use the other traditional weapons, but instead simply run in front of your vehicle. And so you're running over them just like you did the zombies when you left the reliquary.
What can we do to distract them?
Well, if I had a machine gun, I'd mow them down, but I don't have one, so we're just going to have to keep rolling. Because
You have the contents of the entire reliquary in our back seat, and there's nothing can be done?
You didn't bring anything to handle this kind of situation? No, I don't know.
No, sorry. No flame throwers, no
I have
napalm.
He has the 2
Yes,
from
but
security. You've also
we would have to stop for you to utilize them. Our best bet is to move on through them and beyond them. It's our best.
Okay, fine, whatever. Onward we go.
If we go out there, most of us will be dead.
I wasn't planning on stopping, if that's what you're asking.
Right.
Well, if you could figure a way to use them while we're in.
I don't know what you have, so I can't make a plan of what to use with your stuff.
The one thing I couldn't find was weapons, except for the sawed-off shotgun and 6 shells.
I'm not talking about weapons. You have a propane tank? Do you have
No, they don't use pro.
If she only had a Holocaust cloak.
Yeah, I know. Only a Holocaust cloak. Oh well, that's fine. We just continue to press on them.
On the second foray against somewhat of their mass numbers, they actually tried to lure you into a secondary trap. Make a DC 12 check again. as they try to tip the vehicle over.
16.
Okay, so you basically gun it through there, and eventually you come out the other side of them. You've basically had to travel for more than 24 hours straight in the process of getting around them. So you guys are operating at fatigue level 1, but you did get past them. You also got a pretty decent recon on.
An extensive mass army.
Yes, of
Blinn.
yeah, and immeasurable volume of them. And the ones that stepped in front of you didn't even appear to have eyes in their sockets.
Ugh.
God, what are those?
And their mouths are sewn shut.
I think that would be a problem.
That'd be, yeah, very creepy.
Oh, it's creepy beyond measure. It's like there's almost like those zombies.
Hmm.
So, can the rest of them try to sleep and Hart continues to drive on?
Yes, because you don't have to worry about fatigue.
Okay. Let's wake us up if anything happens.
Okay.
Aye.
I.
They didn't have them.
Up ahead of you, you see a town. Lights all on. Streets appear to be clear. Some of the auroch in a pen.
Could we tell which direction the goblins were coming? Were they coming southward?
No, they just seemed to be camped.
Okay.
They didn't seem to be moving anywhere.
He's going to pull into the town and slow down somewhat.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception.
No, wait. Actually, no. You should wake people up before we enter into town. That's my bad. I shouldn't do that.
Okay.
So he's going to stop about a mile outside of town.
Okay. Everybody's had their long rest when that happens. He said,
wake them up.
Wake everybody up.
There is a town.
You're down to 92%.
Okay. There is a town. Should we warn them?
I have no idea. Rocky, what do you think?
I don't know, actually.
There's an innumerable army of goblins possibly coming this way, or leaving this way. I don't know, but a sleepy little village may prefer to be warned.
Okay.
We may not need to spend much time doing it if we can help it.
Alright,
As you approach the town, your audio systems are picking up some kind of rhythmic sonic pattern that you can readily identify as some form of music. Hart.
There is music. Strange music, rhythmic.
Kind of a dance, kind of a happy dance tune. The rest of you can start to hear it through the muffled walls of the V8. Even against the rumble, you can make out that there's music being played, even though it's not clearly audible yet.
V8.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize that sound?
No, don't believe it's on my playlist. Sorry.
Is it night or day?
Daytime.
What are people who live in this area doing?
Well, you don't see anybody. You don't see anybody on the street at all. You see the cattle in the pens. You see horses tied up. A few of the horses tied up at the fronts of the buildings. There's probably a couple of loose dogs running along, loping alongside your vehicle, barking at it.
Hart, you and I go in and warn them. Be on alert, please.
Rocky and Peekaboo, will you guard the V8?
And guard.
What?
She said she can't guard.
Do not let anybody in,
Okay.
Except us.
Damn.
including us.
Okay, so the two of you head into town. The the music is more audible once the vehicle is closed down and the doors go up. So for a few seconds, those of you inside the vehicle can hear the tune as well. It's quite a sweet harmony. It's multiple voices intoning together. It's there are instruments as well, but it's really the stunning beauty of the vocals that are quite amazing in a little tiny town like this. You wouldn't expect anything like this musically.
Mm. No accounting for taste.
So the two of you head on into town, and about the time you make it to the main street of town, just a little over a minute has passed, and Valara hits the ground. Just falls down.
Valara? He's gonna go over to her and try to shake her.
She sits up and she's humming the same song.
Hmm. That's not good. He's gonna poke her 7 times in the forehead.
Well, she gets up. She's gonna start heading back towards town.
He's gonna pick her up and take her back towards the V8.
Valar, you're feeling sad, like you're being denied something important to you.
But I want to listen to the music. I want to sing, and I want to
Music is
dance.
bad for you.
But I want to join in.
No, music's of the devil. It's
It's,
okay.
it's so peaceful and
Shush,
restful.
shush, shh. Quiet now.
But by the time you get back, she's nearing the point of violence. She's struggling a bit, but you're able to put her into the vehicle. And as soon as the vehicle walls close down, she can no longer hear the music. She'll come out of it.
Why am I here?
The music began to control your mind.
What did I do?
Hum it. Want to join with it? Go to it? Fight me.
I'm sorry. Nothing I would ever intend to do. No, that's not good.
If this is their defense, they have a good defense.
It's awful.
Makes everybody friendly.
It's like brainwashing people.
If it protects them from death, then worse ways to do it.
What do you mean protects them from death?
If the goblins come, they will begin to sing instead of murder.
They're trying to pacify the surroundings and move it on.
Who?
Who?
The goblins.
You're making an assumption, not an evidence.
That's why I'm
But,
making the
okay.
assumption I'm making an evidence.
Right. He's looking at it and saying, "Oh, the town has music and it's making people friendly. It sounds like a great way to stop the goblins."
Oh, I was looking at it.
I know you were assuming the goblins were creating the music, but that's only because you, as another character, know that.
Okay. Well, no, remember they pacified the people, and the people were playing the music
Who?
in that one town.
In another character.
Oh, yeah, I understand. Okay.
Let us continue on. If more evidence presents itself, then we will know.
Okay, let's move on.
So you're not going into town now? You're just going to...
I don't think that would be a good idea.
I wouldn't mind getting.
We don't
some
need to be
of those
friends with
horses.
random strangers. Clearly they have it taken care of.
Is there any chance we can pick up those horses and take them with us?
No, you have plenty.
I don't have horses.
Yes,
Have
I
a
know. You
V8.
also don't have a ship. And you also don't have a castle or a dragon, but it's okay. You're still Valara.
Okay.
If you want the horses, you have to get rid of something, which is half of what you took from the store.
Okay, so you rumble on for another hex of travel, and how many hexes you got left to get to the grasslands for your estimation at this point?
Let's see. It depends on where we interacted with the goblins firsthand.
They had
Uh,
to travel through 3 hexes of them.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. I'm not really sure where the goblin thing happened, unfortunately.
it would have been the hex nearest the mountains.
The speckly one or the snowy one?
The gray speckly.
Okay. Then we have 3 after that. So if
Right.
that was one more hex, so we have 2 hexes left.
Okay.
Well, 1 hex and then we're there.
Right. Okay. So as you travel through this hex, you see the fields have been turned over. It looks like tiny graves have been opened. They're all little 4-foot holes, side by each, row after row after row after row after row after row. It's really kind of disturbing. It's like somebody who was a potato farmer decided to pull up all potato roots for the entire, 20 acres.
Do you know what that is?
No, but I think we should take a look.
Is there music playing here?
There is not.
Is there a town nearby?
There also is not.
What is this?
I don't know.
So,
The most important thing,
slowing down just enough so you're kind of like barely rumbling over the terrain so you can take a look as you go by. You see a lot of smallish footprints around and some broken shovels, some broken picks. It looks like somebody was excavating well, for lack of a better word, it looks like a children's graveyard. Looks like like 10,000 graves of children. I mean, it's worse than any plague cemetery you can think of.
Do you remember the ones that came at us without eyes and their mouth sewn shut?
That wasn't this group, was it? No, it wasn't. You're doing it again.
No,
Yeah.
that was just a minute ago.
Just a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
Do you think they're raising the dead up to fight for them?
I have no idea.
But nobody's around right now, just the broken equipment.
Just the holes in the ground. Yep.
How deep are the holes?
About between 4 and 6 feet deep.
I don't think anything can be gained from looking at graves.
Okay, let's roll on, but we will
Unless
say that...
is there anything in particular, like any camp that was left behind, any banners that were left behind?
No, but you would see. I will grant you that there is a single pole stuck in the ground upon which is a skull. The skull looks like that of a full-grown human, except that it has fangs, upper and lower. So its incisors are overgrown.
Do any of you recognize that kind of skull?
Oh, is it a cat-shaped skull?
No.
No, human-shaped.
Human-shaped, but fangs. Or at home and watching a horror movie, it might be the skull of a wolf person known as a lycanthrope werewolf.
Vampire?
If I was at home, it would look like a werewolf skull or some a crossbreed between a human and a werewolf or some other fanged beast.
What you find fascinating is as you're approaching it, it seems like the jaw is moving independently, like it's talking.
I need to hear what it's saying. Is there any way?
You want to get out and listen to the skull.
I want to hear what it's saying.
Has your brain not been invaded enough times today?
Okay, you want to get out and hear what it's saying?
No, what's one more to add to the list?
Okay, go on.
Okay, we get out.
All right. The voice is going, "Oh, running away, eh? Not letting me defend my troops. Yeah, I figured that'd be the case. Yeah, you're a bunch of chicken shits. Yeah, you're so awful.
Who are you? What are you?
I'm a great and powerful lich from beyond the grave. Aren't I impressive?
No, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, damn. Maybe that's why they're all gone. Could you just get me down from here, please? I've been up here most of the day.
Hart will go over and lift him off of it.
Ah. Of course, he's still on a stick, but they mounted the stick to the pole.
Can I pull the stick out?
No, it looks like it's fused to the back of the skull.
Why are you like this?
I'm an infralich, don't you know?
No, I don't.
You've heard of liches, right?
No,
you are terrified of liches, aren't you?
No.
What has happened to the world? It used to be we were the most terrifying terrifying masters in all the universe, and everyone was loath to raise their eye to us at all for fear we would destroy their souls.
Hart's gonna do a funny thing. He's gonna reach into his chest plate and pull out Tom, the zombie head. Is this a lich?
When you pull out the head, Tommy, who is like chatting, grinding away like always, when it comes out, you hear it creepily say, "Master."
Oi.
Is he a lich?
No, he's not a lich. He's just a zombie. But he could help me if you would allow him to. He could help me raise my mighty army, and we could destroy the world.
That doesn't sound nice. Could you not do that?
What?
Destroy the world?
Well, that's why I spent all those years in post life school.
Well, if that's what you want to do, he walks over to one of the graves and starts to put him in it slowly.
Wait! What are you doing? What are you doing? I can't rule the world from down there.
Exactly. I don't want the world destroyed, so I'm going to put you to sleep.
Oh, please don't do that. I've been down there ever so long, and it gets cold. And the permafrost was really hard on my teeth.
Will you promise to be nice? You can be friends with us.
I can't promise to be nice, for I am an infralich and destroyer of worlds.
Okay. Do cars normally have hood ornaments?
Nice.
Do it.
Mounted on the front or the back, I don't care.
He's going to lay Tommy's head to rest because he's found a better head to keep.
Well, not only that, he's kind of become a broken record because all he does is sit there and go, "Master, master."
Yep.
I'm Floyd, by the way.
Hello, Floyd. I am Hart.
Nice to meet you. Last name's
Hart.
Last name's Merriweather.
Ha. Ha ha. I don't know why I'm laughing. I heard a joke.
Did you?
I did. Anyway, we have a V8. We are going somewhere we know not when. We know not why, but we go. There are lots of goblins.
Bring me close to my children, and I will bring them back into my control. And we will we will rule the world. Is that better?
A little bit.
Okay.
Who are your children?
Oh, there's Ricky and Bobby and Tommy and Charlie and Susie and starts rattling off name after name after name after name. Oh, but you weren't asking that. They were the first fruits of our labor and the last fruits of our generation.
That answers little.
Well, thank you.
Do they have eyes?
What need have they for eyes when they have wisdom?
Do they have mouths sewn shut?
What need have they for mouths when they have pens with which to scribe?
I know where your children are. They're not very nice.
Well, they were created to dominate and control the world.
Stop it. And he boops him on the head.
Sorry.
They are with the goblins.
Oh. What goblins? You mean the ones that dug us up? No.
Yes.
No, my children wouldn't serve alongside of the Blinn. There's no reason. There's no profit to it. Blinn only live a few days.
That's where they are.
That makes no sense.
They were all gathered in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, approximately 335,000, across 3 hexes of land.
My goodness.
Your children were there. We tried not to run them over, but they got in the way.
Oh, that's horrible.
They
It's
were
okay.
attacking us
That's okay.
viciously.
They're resilient.
That's good.
They are the timeless ones. They're like Timex. They take lickings and keep on ticking.
Why does Timex sound familiar?
Is
Hard-
there a time why?
Nice.
Huh. Time Z.
Going
He
from
brings
one
him-
math joke, but okay.
Yeah, we got it.
He brings him back to the V8.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we get in,
Well, thank
and
you.
I suppose we start to drive again with him dangling from the rearview mirror.
Nice. He complains about jolting, but after the view stabilizes a little bit because he's spinning at first, and he's like, "Can we do something about this? I'd like to face." Oh, thank you. That's much better.
He turns him to face the windshield so he can look outside.
Yeah, exactly.
What in the name of the God is that?
This is Floyd.
Floyd Merriweather. Pleased to
Okay.
meet you. I am the Infralich and the ruler of the world.
Stop! Boink. Spins him around, spinning.
Ow! Ow! Stop it! Stop it!
He stops him. He has an issue.
I have no issue.
It's a-
My issue. The first fruit of my kind and the last fruit of my wisdom is loose upon the world.
He has a self-image issue. It's kind of inflated.
Is he the reason for those zombie-like creatures?
He called them his children, but he said that they would never work with the Blinn.
If they heard the song, they might have no choice.
What song?
The
You're building
song-
context that you don't.
Oh,
have
okay.
to.
Stop. I'll withdraw that.
You have the Dickens of a time separating storylines, Gene.
Yep. Sorry.
You're getting too much Nycos. I know that's possible, but it seems to be.
Do you know why they would be with the Blinn? And why were they buried here?
Oh, they were murdered here.
By who?
An evil wizard named Wallace.
Wallace?
Yeah, buried them alive.
That's not very nice.
No, they were just on their way on a march across the country to destroy to destroy the world. I mean, to rule the world.
Oink.
Yeah. Ow.
So,
Interesting source of information. I don't know how it fits.
so
but
Wallace tried to put them to bed in the dirt?
Yes.
But why are they with the Blinn now?
Somebody dug them up.
But what reason would the Blinn have, and how would they work together?
I don't know.
How would the Blinn know? They seem rather... mindless? Purposeless? Savage?
Usually, I wouldn't know why. I didn't see
You're
it.
the great Infralich. Why would you not know?
Well, I know everything. I just haven't figured out how to explain it to you.
V8?
Yes.
Rocky, what do you know about this thing?
What are the Blinn?
Blinn, the collective body of all of the goblin, hobgoblin, and bugbear races combined.
What danger do they pose?
Culturally grown in tribal formations of numbering less than 200 to 500. They are generally a nuisance to farmers and ranchers and little else. They are not known for uniform development, and as they have relatively short lifespans, somewhere between 9 months and 7 years, they are not considered to be a threat in any real sense to any culture in the world.
Mr. Floyd, what is
Yes.
the name of your children? What are they called by?
Well, Manes.
V8?
Mm-hmm.
Define Manes.
Manes. Historically, they are the descendants of a species known as cauldron-born, brought into existence by a fell artifact from beyond this world that take the soul out of a person and replace it with a black worm-like being that guides and controls the physical bodies. The bug is somehow able to maintain or restore the bodies, so they are very difficult to kill. And ultimately, if they are allowed access to the soil, the worm will crawl into the soil and return to its home for another body. The later version, the Manes, actually incorporated that worm technology as a form of database memory for its culture.
Why would they work together with the Blinn?
Unknown.
Cross-reference Blinn and music.
The historical home of the Blinn species originated with a stone known as the anvil that fell into Nycos at an indeterminate point in the past, and that the anvil was destroyed by an act known historically as the Hammerfall, wherein 3 lights and 7 tones were triggered that led to the destruction of the anvil, and therefore the destruction of the ancestral home of all goblins.
Hammerfall is the home of the goblins.
Yes.
These things don't belong here, do they?
Just a second. Where is Hammerfall?
Hammerfall is along the Farthfell coast.
That's a long ways.
Coast of Growland, west coast actually. Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs.
Like Mantara?
South. Let me pull my map back up.
Oostish. Oh, there's Farfell. They are a long way from home.
Yes.
This is very strange.
And they don't belong. They belong some other time? An earlier time?
Well,
No idea.
The destruction of Hammerfall was at an indeterminate point in the past. Remember, there are no iterations to work with, so
Yeah.
Well, I thought the V8 was outside of that.
yes, but it's not within the framework of recognizing the shorter terms. It just has like a full archive of all the history, so it doesn't
Okay.
have the boundaries.
It doesn't separate them.
Right.
It's a continual history for it.
But it's only a continual history from its origin, which is in fourth.
Right. Okay.
Hmm. So they
Well,
don't
that's
come from
horrifying.
here. Yet they now have a massive army that's quite larger than how they usually gather together. So they've been gathered under some leader, some leader who's united their groups. And now their number if it isn't 100,000, it's 200,000. 49 miles? No, 150 miles of them spread as far as
Well,
wide.
it's skirmish lines like an army would be, so you really have no idea of scale.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, if that's a skirmish line, then somewhere they have the main body still.
Yeah. That is a problem that is going to be eventually visited somewhere. I just don't know where. Yeah, we do have to find somewhere that is maybe more civilized, where we can get hold of somebody that might be able to use this information for the good.
We could go further south.
Okay.
V8,
Mm-hmm.
do you know where the nearest population center is?
Stand by. Leaf Hollow in Inandara, Bridgeton in Florin. Let's see. There's also Barter Town in North Bergeron. All of them are approximately 250 miles away.
How far can you get before you run out of fuel?
Roughly 50 miles.
Unless we can find more Vex.
I'm gonna empty in the 2 canisters of limb that we took with us
Okay,
into the
right.
gas tank.
That's another 10 gallons to another day. So you got 100 miles.
It takes 20 gallons to go 100 miles, 5 miles to a gallon.
No, 10 gallons.
10 gallons. Yeah, if it gets us another 50 miles on top of what we have, that means we're getting 5 miles to a gallon.
No. 10 gallons gets you 100 miles.
Oh,
10
100
miles
miles
to the gallon.
more than
it's
because we have.
Okay,
100
those of you that have ever driven one, you understand this. How many miles an hour gallon are you going to get out of a frickin' V8? There's a reason why they call it that. And it has nothing to do with 8 cylinders. It has to do with fuel mileage.
It had to do with tomato juice.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I say. We're driving in a can, so it should go as far as V8 can take us, and that's according to the commercials, an endless distance.
Okay, that's 100 miles. She's just trying to figure out how long it might take it to cover that.
It would take us a long time on foot.
Yeah, we have to find
25 miles a day at max.
Yep.
Ask your lich friend if he knows
2 days per hex. It'll only be 4 more days.
how we can get hold of our hands on some Vex.
V8, can you scan for sources of Vex?
Unfortunately, my scanners pick up Vex in every direction.
Concentration.
The largest concentration.
No good. It reads pretty much the same in all directions, except for ironically, there's a lot inside this vehicle.
Wait, whoa. Didn't he say that it can absorb solar power?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long will it take for it to charge some using solar power?
Oh, I can cross a hex with 1 day's charge.
That's what we'll have to do.
But I can
Very
charge.
well.
But I can charge while we're traveling. So
Good.
as long as we
Let's
have
do
good.
it.
The problem was you had snowy weather, so he wasn't able to use that. But once you're out of the snows, then now that you're out of the snows and into the calmer weather, I should be able to at least pick up some each day, even if not completely.
At what speed could we go where you could continually move without needing to stop? What speed could we move at and compete with the rate at which you absorb limb from the sunlight?
About 1 hex per day. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the best.
So then we can save the limb for later, and we need to move fast.
So which town is the best town to get to?
Again,
I
can
don't
only
know.
give you choices.
Okay, this way. Which one is the easiest route to travel?
Bergeron has nothing in between us except greeny grassland.
Right.
Indara is the closest.
Inundar is only 2 hexes away.
What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
Darn.
I have an answer.
The African one, actually.
Oh,
Of
then
course
I
you
don't know.
do.
It's not a matter of airspeed velocity. It's a matter of how it grips it.
No, it's a matter of wing ratios.
Airspeed
5-pound
velocity.
bird cannot carry a 10-pound coconut.
Perhaps if he grips it with his claws. It's not a matter of when he grips it. It's a simple matter of airspeed velocity. An African sparrow only does per mile. Unfortunately, it is not migratory.
Anyways,
Migratory,
No,
corrects
no,
Valara.
No, migratory is what it said in Monty Python, so I stick with that.
migratory.
Non-migratory. All right. So
Bergeron or Inundara? I say that's the way to go. What lives in Inundara, V8?
I don't know. It's a elvish outpost as far as our records show.
Elves is good?
Are they?
I don't know. Peekaboo, are elves good? We had friends that are elves.
Depends on the elf, I think.
Freya was an elf, I think.
Yeah, she was a different kind of elf, but yep, she was an elf.
Okay, let's go.
Lucas was an elf, I think. I don't really see race.
No.
I just see life signs.
All right, so you're going to Inundar then?
It's
Yes.
the closest we can get to.
All right. And traveling 1 hex per day, you cross fairly simple farmland, some rangeland, a few head of cattle, a few head of sheep. As you get closer to the forest, you get an idea of its immense size. The trees are on par with the sequoias of the California north, so they're really tall trees.
Wow.
But they're much more verdant and filled in, so their branches are all the way to the low levels of the ground, so they're very thick and full. Just to the left and the right there, you see those areas of the hillier regions. They look sculpted. In other words, there's terraces. So they've actually built up the defenses on this side of the country by creating these 8-foot terraces. And there's garden spaces across the top of them. And there's a main road that the small trail you were on kind of leads to. And there's warning signs that say, keep off the grasses, stay on the road for your safety.
Okay.
We'll stay on the road.
Okay. After a few 100 yards up that direction, you can see the first of the bodies of those that ignored that. You can see places where goblins and other criminal beasts have tried to cross the grasslands, and they're laid out flat. Not their bodies aren't moving. As a matter of fact, plants are growing through the dead bodies.
I guess that's warning enough.
At least we know that they are safe from the Blinn.
As
The
you
bling.
approach, however, as you're approaching the forests, however, you do hear the sound of singing.
Is it similar?
In that it's peaceful and pleasing to the ear, yes.
Is it the same
Is it the
tune?
same melody and tone? No.
He rolls down the window a little bit
Okay.
and watches Valara.
Yep. And as the minutes roll by, the music is just getting louder and such until you're basically under the canopy of the trees, and you'll come to a wooden portcullis seeming to stand alone between the trees. You can see between the other trees to the left and the right, but under the spreading bowers, there's also different tufts of grasses and such that stand menacingly.
Hey, we ain't leaving the road. Hell no.
How do we knock on the door?
Well,
He's gonna roll the window back up and
yeah. As you approach the elves will basically the equivalent of what do you call it? They're not dissolving out of the forest, but they're basically descending from the trees. Metal.
Tall or short?
Tall. They're close to 6 feet tall. Some of them have more human features than others, suggesting that they have among them a considerable number of half elves, and they are motioning for you to step out of the craft or come down. It is kind of odd that they're not surprised by the vehicle. They're not dazed by the roar of its engine or anything. They just are motioning for you to depart.
I hop out.
Me too.
he turns off the V8. Password lock.
Confirmed. Password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as usual.
No. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 to go.
Sounds good.
And Hart will reluctantly get out.
Okay.
He goes with heart.
Sure. With heart, she does it. All right. So as you guys step out, the elves are about a third of them have bows in their hands and arrows knocked, but they're not drawn. And they go, "Welcome, travelers. Welcome to Inandara. How can we assist you?" This is
Question: did the music stop?
You can still hear it in the background, but some of these guys were indeed singers too, so the volume has dropped considerably.
We come with some disturbing news that I do not know you know of or not.
Well, in that case, we probably have much to talk about, for I have great news and warnings for you, considering the state of your return, O masters of the world.
Yes?
I'm a master of myself, not the world.
Oh no! It has been ordained that the return of the EV8 would be a sign of the return of the champions, and clearly you must therefore be them.
Hart's going to tap Valara on the shoulder 7 times.
Okay. Kind of looks at heart.
We
kind
come
of-
with a warning of an encroaching Blinn incursion.
A Blinn incursion?
Yes.
Incursion. An army. So
At
vast
least 19,000 of them.
or more.
The Blinn incursion of 19.
Nice. The Blinn incursion 19. I got you.
I'll tell you what, we traveled for 3 days through them.
Oh my. That explains all the grease on your wheels.
And the Manas were with them.
What? Manas were obliterated almost 200 years ago.
Bring
were-
out Floyd.
No, they were they were dug up.
Who would do such a thing? Those things are nasty.
There was also a town filled with music that they were using to protect themselves, we believe.
Well, music is a great protector. It's how we use it here ourselves.
Though disturbingly, when Valara heard the music, she began to be entranced.
Well, humans are susceptible to such nonsense.
Hmm. Do you have such defenses?
We do. We are, like I said, you hear the music in the background. It gives us somewhat of a advanced warning should we be invaded.
Good.
Your people are not singing? Do they have?
Of course, our people are singing, but we're so numerous here that it's really not a big burden for some to take off and do other tasks, such as speaking with visitors such as yourselves. Come, let's get you some food, get you a place to bathe and clear the dust from the roads. I'm sure you have much to tell us of your plans as champions of the world.
We have much to hear as well.
Champions.
Hart's gonna get back into the V8 to drive it through into the place.
Okay, as you climb in, you'll actually hear the elves singing, and they're touching the wheels of the vehicle, and the vehicle moves on its own. The engine, the V8 says, "What's going on? I don't understand."
He's going to tell them, please stop. The V8 prefers to move on its own.
They stop and look at you curiously, and they say, "Yes, but we wish to provide salvation for them."
Indeed.
Salvation for whom?
For those who serve the V8. Their task has been accomplished. They have brought the champions home to us.
V8, is this true?
V8 goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I've been sitting on the road up there since the others left me. An awfully long time ago."
How long ago did your champions leave?
More than 126 years ago and less than 1500.
Is that within V8's parameters to understand?
That's just all he knows. He says
Mhm.
that something happened that confused the database. Corrupted the database would be the way you would say it, I suppose.
Okay. Let us go in. Let them do what they're doing.
Very well.
They're
Like-
talking to
Peekaboo would like to take note of the music in the background and is scribbling out melodies on her paper,
Okay.
scratches and whatnot.
Yep.
musical notation.
That's
Yep.
a lot harder than you think.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know.
I hate doing it. I hate it so much.
Because you have to figure out what key it's in and then decide whether that's this. Because like you were saying, one key can be the same note could be on 4 different keys, right?
Oh no, not even just that. You also have to do the beats per measure, and then you also have to put an account of
So many
a
things.
bunch
I
of
know.
so many other variables, such as are there sharps involved, and even before the
No, you probably wouldn't worry too much about the key. You would just go off of the jumps and leaps between in the melody, but the problem is that music goes faster than we can usually process it that.
Right.
So you have to hear it a couple times to get it right.
well, she's going for the basic melody of it.
Right. But what I was gonna
You can get the contour, like first it goes up a third, then it goes down a second, then it goes up a
Yeah.
fourth, and then it goes down a
Yeah,
third.
every music has a type of timestamp, if that makes sense. Like it has the same theme that's going on in there.
Yes. In the case of an Eldrin piece, though, since they are long-lived, their individual verses could be, 20 minutes long before they get to the stanza break or whatever. Get back to the part where
There are still some key main melodies in there.
Okay.
Motives.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is pretty, and it's not making her drop down.
It also helps the bard to practice her skills. So.
Mhm.
10
All right.
weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I could do with a bath. I feel horrible even walking near anybody.
Oh, trust me, we'll get you all cleaned up. And of course, in the process of getting cleaned up, they will note the fact that you don't have any fingerprints.
I
Or
do
that
have fingerprints.
I'm sure that you do have fingerprints.
Yeah.
And they as they're washing, they'll turn to you and say, "Do you give quarter, or do you ask quarter?"
I have given quarter to my companions.
No, do you ask quarter?
She has quarter?
Does she ask quarter?
I don't know what you're asking.
The promise is made that we have to protect those who ask for quarter. You are clearly of the others.
Oh,
So
quarters.
ask.
I have
quarter
asked quarter of these companions I have been with.
Nonetheless, you are in our nation.
How does that mean I will be treated?
As a human being.
And what does that entail? I need to know specifically what that entails.
You must have been in a very bad place. The borders of Inandar are open to humans, elves, and half-elves. We do not make such petty discernments. We had a difficulty on our flank in Elwindale, but that rectified itself as quickly as the second broadcast
Message.
was made.
Okay. While I am in your lands, I will ask for quarter.
No,
So
you
long-
simply ask now. That's all you have to do. It's just what you say. You accept. You ask quarter. We're done. You're just asking. Do you ask quarter?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to Inandara.
Thank you.
There are others of your kind here. Some of them don't wish to be disturbed as they are learning our ways, but there are others that are among the marketplace, so don't be surprised to see them. And some of them actually are rather willing and open about their proclivities for trade, and so in certain cases they're mocked quite heavily, but other than that they seem to be enjoying themselves.
I shall be looking forward to meeting them, though I am more interested in your kind. I know what mine usually are.
Who is it that we speak to?
Oh, any elf you want. You're looking for, quote, leadership. Their governmental system is a bit arcane, and they only speak of the veiled ones. They are worshippers of the Green Veil, and there are six priests of the Green Veil that are there.
Well, has there been one that's kind of led us from there, who's kind of been in charge of guiding us?
No, they kind of like pass it off. As a matter of fact, it's kind of nonchalant. They introduce you to the next person in line, so to speak, as the champions, so that everyone knows that you are the heroes of Nycos. Come back to rescue them. And exactly.
No time for loot. Yep, that
Exactly.
That's what the song is playing. That's what they've been playing all along.
I paid my dues time after time.
Yep.
My sentence, but committed no
She doesn't
crime.
like living a lie.
And
What lie are you living?
They've paid
Why? What do you mean? I mean, we're not their champions.
Says who? In meta. Says
How
who?
can we be? Champions are usually the greatest of
The
their
prophecy
time.
is that the V8 would herald the return of their champions.
Yep.
The V8 brought us here, so therefore we are their champions. So we have to live up to that.
She kind of looks at her. I just don't understand that
Oh, we like you said,
logic.
they pointed out that you had a lot to talk about, but they want you to feel acclimated. They want you to get cleaned up, get that road stink off of you, get out of those damn furs and skins you've been in that smell so rancid.
They were never even tanned.
Right.
Oh no, my petticoats are glorious.
Yes, and you probably prestidigitate the crap out of them, but
Laura has not had that luxury.
that's true.
Hart takes one of the cheaper furs and takes a flamethrower arm and starts attaching it.
And
Whoosh! I'm cleaning it. Whoosh!
yeah, exactly. And the elves will step forward and offer to assist you, and you basically get your first turtle wax rub down, so to speak, as they bring out their special oils and start.
Wait, I don't get the C-3PO slowly lowered into a vat of
oil?
black oil.
Sure, that works too. If you'd rather, you could do that.
It doesn't matter to me.
Well, we'll do that second. We gotta get the.
She grabs up some clothes in the V8. She grabs up a pair of jeans, a tank top, a t-shirt, and a Pendleton.
There you go.
And a floppy boonie.
Yep. Well, and they also.
What's a floppy boonie?
It's a hat.
It's a hat.
Do they have like springs here? Like
it's kind of it's an army issue hat. It's got more of a normal crown and a wide brim, but it tends to be soft, so it kind of flops down. It was called a floppy boonie.
Okay.
Anyway, baths are in order. Showers. They've got places where they've got different aromas of plant life and flora and stuff to pour all over you, so to make you smell nice.
Yeah, well, she showers first just to get the gunk.
The arms that I'm wearing right now, just to make it easy.
Sure.
He's gonna have a shield arm, his two fine articulators on, his.
For the first time since Peekaboo's been defrosted, she's going to shower or rinse.
Rinse. Yes.
Rinse.
Yes.
One flame and the saw, just to make it.
Sure. More than likely,
two sets of arms and
because
two
of your size,
combat.
Peekaboo, they're gonna assume you to be much more youthful than you are, so they're actually probably gonna haul you off and throw you in the bath with the other kids too, and you're like, you have to insist that you're not among the little ones, and they'll apologize and all of that, but.
I show them the laugh line.
Yeah, they would see I'm older. They kind of apologize as you climb out of the water with a pair of water wings on, because they would have been afraid of throwing you in the pool without a flash. So all cleaned up, all gussied up. The smell of a slow cooking meal smells really good.
And she thoroughly washes her hair once, twice, 3 times.
Hart wants to get a sense of like how many are here. So he's going to turn on his life sensors and just kind of like...
Okay, so when you turn on the life sensor, first thing you're going to note is that the trees themselves are registering more life than they should. I mean, you know what a tree normally reads as, but the trees are carrying literally the lifeblood of the Eldrin people. So they're basically sharing like a banyan. They all share a single root bowl structure. And that there's a central core to the forest that it's from your position, it's probably close to a mile away, but you can sense in the distance that there's an even greater life source hidden deep inside of the forest. And,
interesting.
Just counting the number of bright spots on the trees above you, one of the tree trunks itself would accommodate roughly 150 elves, and this forest is roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hexes.
Oh wow.
So there are tons of elves. It's almost like, I would say, I would hazard a guess that it's kind of like the city of Boston spread over a much larger area. It's a lot of people,
Nice.
a lot of elves.
Okay.
So after they get you out and get you cleaned up, Hart, they also will, like I said, do a turtle wax job, bringing you to a nice smooth luster. Those places where you had the scorch marks on your chest, they actually try to burnish it off, and of course you're going to prevent them because you put that on there yourself. But they're
Well, the burn marks can go, but the etching
right.
would
But I'm just saying,
stay.
yeah. But they actually weren't aware of it actually being an emblem because remember we broke it off and then you had to like carve one on instead. So
Yeah.
so they're trying to burnish it and make it all smooth, and they almost wipe it out, and so you have to like tap them on the hand.
Oh. 7 times.
Exactly.
Tick, tick, tick. Finger wag back and forth.
Right.
He's gonna outline it as the shape of a
But-
heart for
but they-
them,
but-
and then point to his forehead that also has it.
Okay, once they see the one on your forehead, they do point to the forge and offer you the opportunity to make another one if you want.
He nods. After we
They,
talk.
they nod back, and they do show that they would offer you to be able to make it out of precious metals as well,
Mm,
all the way up to gold.
thank you.
All right, so Peekaboo's got her hair. I imagine they're going to put your hair up in curls even if you don't want it that way, because they think that's the way halflings should look. So they're going to do.
Of course.
I have to say though, the cutest halfling I ever saw is scared when he's talking about the trolls. God, that little girl, that little girl just broke my heart because that was my daughter. That's just that look on her face, those big eyes. That's That's
Cute.
when I think of Peekaboo. That's who I'm seeing is the
Mm.
dark curly brown hair. Yeah, you're a redhead, right? Is that what you said?
She's blonde hair, blue eyes.
Okay.
Aquamarine eyes. I'm looking at the eyes that I see right now. They're really
Right.
aquamarine.
But anyway,
Beautiful.
They're pretty, but of them turns green.
nice with envy.
Huh.
Sure.
Sure. But Peekaboo looks the part of Shirley Temple then with the curly hair.
Oh yeah, totally does. And then she looks up and it's just like,
And you said you had
And-
petticoats and everything too, so.
Yep.
Oh my God! I just realized this is your Animal Crossing character, isn't it?
And
Maybe
I heard the oh my gosh, and then you just cut out.
I said you just realized that Peekaboo is your Animal Crossing character.
Oh my god, yes.
Just dawned on me. It's like, oh yeah, that explains why she's so adorbs. So there you go.
Yeah.
Fresh underwear. She pulls them up from behind her grabs them from her trouser line. See, fresh undies.
Fresh all over.
The elves
She's
are-
not embarrassed about it.
No,
though.
I know, but everybody else is like embarrassed.
Rocky, are you there?
Yes.
How do you feel about your dwarf getting dunked in a barrel and scrubbed until he's pink? You a bath. Elves basically threw you in the water and frothed it up till it was like a bubble bath, and they braided your beard.
I'm gonna say.
And tied ribbons at the end.
Yes.
Oh no, they gave him those beads.
Yes.
Gold color.
Big pretty bows.
No, they're nice little neat bows.
Big
So-
pretty bows.
Uh,
Put a new string on your bow.
yeah, edged your sword again so it's nice and sharp.
I'm gonna say. It's nice.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad to have you among us, Rocky. We
So
don't-
she
we
does
don't-
put
we
the.
don't, we don't get.
She doesn't really have anything for the machete, so she just kind of sticks it in the belt Um, her bow, her regular bow is on her back, but she carries. Oh no, she left the compound bow in its case in the thing.
Yep.
She just carried a traditional bow and the
Alrighty.
arrows.
So you're all squeaky clean, and you've been brought to the big festival table. It's the at one of the central trees in in this part of the forest. The bowl of the tree is large enough to actually have a raised table made out of the bowl material, like a burl, all the way around.
Uh-huh.
And then the tabletop has been sawed smooth and polished, and the cups and flatware and stuff are all made from the same wood from the same tree. So
I'm assuming there are
perfectly
Is-
composed.
there's musicians and music,
Oh
correct?
yes, definitely. You're there.
Peekaboo's gonna be eyeing around for a mandolin that gets abandoned when the elf goes like for a bathroom break or something.
He's gonna jump over and sit in on a jam session.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Um, she just goes over to where there's food and sits down, sighs, something she didn't have to cook. Oh, I'm sorry, TV. Okay, you're stuck.
You sat
Come
on the
on.
cat? Oh no, that'd be horrible.
No, he's stuck on the chair. So he was trying to jump up and he didn't make it. And then he kind of fell back down, but his claws were stuck up on the arm. And at that angle, I had to lift him up to free his arm, his
Gotcha.
claws. Well, it's okay, Kitty.
So when Hart gets some free time, I just posted a picture in the chat for you to see. It's like a tree formed in a Celtic knotwork.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to remake his heart symbol using that sort of tree motif so that the archings of the
Nice.
R and T on the sides are like the boughs of the tree and whatnot. And he's going to make that out of gold and fix it to his chest,
Nice.
kind of set it and melt it into the inlays that were already there made by the etching.
Nice.
But then he's going to make a second flat copy of it in silver and give it to whatever elf is running the meeting
Nice.
as a shine of friendship and gratitude between Hart and the people of Inandara forever.
Sure. Nice. And yeah, because this is the first people. This is the first peoples on the planet that have treated you like a being, huh?
Yep. And there's let me see what he has. He has anything else he can add to it?
Item inside of the V8, and they asked your permission to excise it.
You mean Floyd?
Yes.
He's being rehabilitated.
Being rehabilitated, but he's a lich.
He's an infralich.
Yes, he told us several times.
Yes, I'm trying to
And
teach
he
him
tried
how
to
to
say,
be
He tried to say he was going to destroy the world, and he changed his mind.
from destroy to rule. And next I'm going to say save. That's the end goal.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just wanted you to know about that. Also, with your permission, we would like to allow the 44 to go as well.
If that is their choice.
What's a 44?
There are
4x4 of the V8.
Oh,
the
yes.
44 spirits entrapped within the wheels.
Please do. Please
Tell them
do.
thank you.
We will give them solace. That will be the last trip of the last V8.
Certainly.
Agreed.
I'm glad to be here.
So, tell us of your adventures so far, and what you have seen, and what you perceive that will be our first order of action in order to return you to the battlefields against our enemies.
So Hart's going to start telling the story, and he's going to work in like sound effects, like.
Nice.
He's going to show the Star Destroyer coming down, and
Yeah, say this is a C-3PO. The C-3PO.
Yeah.
Scene.
Oh, I'm still in my jam session.
Yep.
Luka Skywalker Sha.
Yeah, nice.
Um, she'll go over to where Hart is and just wait patiently so she can tell them what news she has. But she lets Hart tell a story.
Yeah. But you actually are telling your.
So he'll tell them about he awoke in a sarcophagus in a deep dark place. He had no arms and had no ability to move.
Right. You tell them the whole thing.
Power cells were almost dead. And through perseverance, he saved, and people kept treating him as a tool and saying that he wasn't a person. And the Inundarans are well beloved for their treatment of him.
I try to get the band to kind of do like this solemn, but brave your warrior kind of music.
Nice. You're writing the anthem for it. I got you. And Valara, you're going to fill in the stuff about the visit with the Fargul and the mood
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yes.
Are we going
She
to tell
said-
them at all about the lake? Are we going to tell them all about the facility? Are we going to tell them at all about the reliquary? Are we going to tell them at all about the Blinn?
Yes.
Yes, about the Blinn. Yes, about the reliquary. Warnings, of course, about it being a place of necromantic whatever.
Right.
And strange technology.
An angry clown.
Yes, the tale of the angry clown. That's Peekaboo's tale to tale.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Rocky can talk about he turned the tide against the undead.
Yep.
Not necessarily in the positive direction, but he did turn the tide. Hey, y'all, come over here. wait, I don't want you all to come over here.
and then we'll tell about
You can tell about the. You can tell about the lake and the.
I'll also
continents.
tell them about. I'm not sure about the lake of Vex, but I don't see
well,
why
no,
not.
we will tell them that there was a installation of the others with perceived weapons of destruction that we helped destroy.
That's true. Gotcha.
And that the resulting was a large lake of silvery substance.
All right. Excellent.
That actually communicated with us.
That's not.
No.
Yeah, because it didn't communicate with any of us. Communicated with Freya.
Okay.
Right. And Freya still.
MIA.
She may or may not still be in the lake. Who knows? She is our Schrodinger's cat.
Okay.
She
Okay.
both is and isn't a puppet
Now-
of Blinn.
On our trip here,
Right.
where we actually avoided the ice field of giant worms and little worms, which are probably their offspring, we came across a crevasse, and in that crevasse, down way in the bottom, Hart saw something he couldn't quite put a name on. It was moving from west to east,
From the mountains to the sea.
the mountains to
Deep
the
down.
sea.
It looked like a river running, but it also had the stringent movements of an army in armor. But it shone like water.
You said flashes of blue ever so often.
You see a look of recognition in the face of the elves as they look at each other as you tell that particular part of the story. But it's literally like they put hands on each other's shoulders to steal them from responding directly. So it's obvious that they're trying not to be obvious about the fact that this does mean something to them. It's
And the
only
last
part,
thing
it's
was-
the only part of the story that they seem to show. I wouldn't say hope, but like surprise about. Because all
Okay.
the rest of it sounded dark and bad, and the kinds of things they expected a group of heroes to tell them, how bad things are. But When you say that, it almost looks like they took courage from it.
After that event, as we traveled south, we ran into lines of skirmishers, more of these little creatures that
Right.
I
You've
call
called
goblins.
right
The Blinn.
the blend.
But some of them were those that had no eyes and their mouths shut, who would just throw themselves in front of the vehicle to try to stop us.
Wait, wait,
But
wait, wait, wait. Were those Blinn?
No,
Yes.
yes, they were blind.
they
They were
were.
all blind. They were all
No,
blind.
no, they weren't all Blinn. He's also right that you did see small people as well. But
Okay.
my point is that yes, there were unblinn as well.
Okay, there was unblind as well as blind.
Uh,
That were these type of creatures.
uh-huh. They go,
However,
but they do they say I don't mean to interrupt, but could you go back to the part where you saw the flood?
yes,
Yes.
Like-
So
Which flood?
the
Well-
flood of flashing blue beneath the surface
Yes.
of the ice.
yes, the blue flood.
Okay.
If what you're saying is true, it's yet another sign of the coming apocalypse, because that would be the deluge, the army, the untold armies of the Eldrin lost when Cryopathia froze.
And this is good, yes?
Yes, and no. It's a sign of the apocalypse, so that's not always a good thing. It's a forward view sign of the end of time.
But this is the good help from it.
Yes.
Good.
Okay. Now, I hope it is so. I hope what you think it to be is what you want it to be.
Yes, but
But I can't tell you it is.
well, that's okay. The number and type of description that you've given of this combined Blinn and Manes army is rather terrifying.
Yes, because we went through 3 full hexes of them.
Yeah, 150 miles is the way you would say it. But yeah,
150 miles at least
Of the skirmish lines.
of the skirmish lines.
yes, it means that their main body has to be in the tens of thousands, if not larger. Ugh.
I would say it had to be larger because there was many tens of thousands that we passed through.
And hearts still worry of the village that seemed to be empty besides the music that corrupted Valara's mind.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well either. Fortunately, we Eldrin have a propensity to be protected against musical attacks, so we should be fine.
May it always be so.
Indeed.
What can I do to protect myself against it again? Because I was susceptible to it. I guess I listened to it at least a minute before I fell down.
You fell down around a minute.
I-
Keep track of that and see if that is a rule or not. If we were able to establish that as an actual, that's something we might be able to work around. But did you see the ones making the music?
No,
No.
there was nobody on the streets. There was a few horses. There was some
Animals.
big oxen like oryx. That was it. Oryx. I killed one up in the north.
Congratulations.
No, it was a matter of eating or not eating.
Still,
There was-
congratulations. Aurochs are a tough kill.
Yes, I understand. You should have seen the paladin that stood out in front of him and faced a charge of 3.
Heart
That is
made the
impressive.
trap.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not with us now. I don't know where he is.
I hope he isn't dead. We need all the heroes that we can get. I count only 4 of your number. There should have been 6. Was the paladin one of your losses?
Yes.
And this...
Though we do hold hope that he is alive somewhere near Anchorage.
And we also lost a mage, a rather novice
Sorcerer.
of wild magic, which couldn't always be trusted.
Well, a wild mage in Cryopathia is in for some serious trouble. So, the fact that you helped her to survive to get out of there, that's pretty telling.
Yeah.
So, Bard, you have yet to tell us of your tales. How have you fared in your adventuring? How successful have you been in turning the tide of the enemy with the sound of your song? Speechless, are you?
All right.
To me, letting me know that she's has to double time her stuff right now, so she's working
Uh,
on homework.
right now I was just like looking at my assignments and stuff like that. Make sure, and I'm really confused
Your
as
turn to
to.
tell your story. That's just what we were talking
Yeah.
about.
I woke up from a icicle.
She was trapped within the reliquary.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad to know that you're safe. And has your music done many things to turn the tide against the enemy?
Hmm.
Music did help save us from the reliquary.
She wants to get thrown in the water again.
No, no, like actually somebody tossed me in the air.
Nice.
Toss you
Okay.
in the air.
Tossed me in the air.
Okay, she bends over and picks up Peekaboo, and two hands her up into the air, and then catches her when she comes down.
I sing part of the melody that I was practicing on and cast Featherfall.
Oh. Everybody claps because it's cute to watch a halfling tumble to the ground. But
Especially with all those petticoats.
Yep. And it
Alright.
like it foomps out
holding
like
her
an
little
umbrella.
I say holding her little umbrella as she comes down, Mary Poppins style. Nice.
Hart doesn't understand the story.
They all kind of, but the elves will kind of elbow you Hart and go, "Oh, you just don't get it. This is the way halflings are. It's great. It meant something really important to them. We don't know. We don't understand them completely, but they're still cute."
Ah, he claps with all 6 hands. Some of them are just metal bits clanking together, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, and we've got the dowdy dwarf among us as well. Hear it for the hero Rocky. How have you fared in bringing your brethren to the fight? Can we depend on the dwarf army to join us? Wow.
But well, we could assist in.
They all look at you and go, what did he mean? I think that was a yes. Yay! Yay! And they all clap.
Will you help, Rocky?
Yes, I will.
Can your brethren also help? Do you have any brethren?
Do you know
Sister
where your brethren
N?
are?
I don't
Cousin
know.
N?
You don't know. Okay.
Like I said, the thing is that he hesitated long enough that they automatically assume that he is going to help. So
He has lost contact with his brethren. He was also trapped in the reliquary for unknown ages.
Well, we are here close to some of the old holdings. Perhaps he could awaken some of the ardor of his associates.
Well, that would be a good idea, Rocky.
What time we should go?
Oh, not tonight, friends. We're enjoying a feast. No, we don't expect you to go for some time. You stay, rest, regain your strength. You choose when you embark on the path, but just know that we have access to some of the dwarvish ways, so that you can go and draw them into this cabal, if you will, against the enemies. Now that we know that the champions have returned, we can start the work in the effort in earnest. You may have
We have told you our story. Could you tell us yours?
Well, certainly. We'll start with the two broadcasts. You're certainly aware of those, and although they came from someone from beyond this world, nonetheless, it was good for our ears to hear that the dangers of the mortals was localized, and that we could simply avoid them, and we could maintain our health. As I said before, we had a bit of a confrontation in the area known as Elwindale, but despite some confusion and some small number of losses, nonetheless, the the humans there became affable and were willing to begin trade, mainly because of their knowledge of one of our number who actually is among the champions of Cauldron by the name of Miri. She doesn't know that we follow her actions, but we are familiar with the successes that she's had, and we're proud of her as one of our number.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And so we were concerned with whether or not the rest of history would proceed forward. We have several among our numbers, and the guy takes time to glare at a few of the older elves. The few that are not grinning, they're sitting cross-armed in the back. The older ones that look like they didn't expect this are
I have a
skeptical about your roles as the heroes and champions, and it says these who were not expecting you we're looking forward to the heroes coming from Cauldron. But now that you've come, we know that the truth is finally being reestablished, and that the ways of the world are returning to normal.
well,
Good.
that's always good.
So we haven't had any other conflict with them. We were able to squelch the small uprising of the Secgen that started in our hinterlands along the Swarthier Plains. We basically seceded to them one of the outposts, which they're now calling East Draconia, and by offering them that place, they have backed off on their aggression towards our people.
Very wise of you.
Thank you. And and finally, the dragons have returned to the heights of Arios, and the Primus have not returned. And so it appears that
So, what other enemies do you know of besides the ones we bring you tell of? Not that they're not enough.
yeah. Well, I can only speak to the ones of which I know. We don't concern ourselves with the actions on Gralum or in the Nordlum. We only deal with those of our own continent. So we're not familiar with any other great threats at this point.
I would
Good.
say that balloon army is a threat.
Rather pressing.
Yes, and that may quite possibly be part of I believe it's the Secundus document. Are you familiar with those? You guys
No.
have been out of the wilderness. You may not have seen those.
Heart
So
has not.
They call for them and they bring in the documents, and they say these were the first three documents reestablished in our libraries since it's a period of destruction that followed the end of the last age, and it devastated all of the human populations, and the majority of the allied races.
Could obliterate libraries. You mean they came in and blew them all up?
No, we literally went into the library one morning. Everything was fine. The next morning we went in and there were no books.
Were your memories affected?
Vaguely, we remembered that we had had a government for virtually ever, but we didn't recall how that government formed. We since have gotten communication with our brethren, the Troloran and the Undrin, and they kind of have filled in some of the details. But that's been a long time coming, and a long distance to the communication thereof.
So what does the prophecy say of us?
Well, you'd have to read it yourself. I'm not. I would hesitate to be the one to speak the prophecy to you, since you are the heroes themselves. So for player reference in the meta, those are available those are in the Discovery channel on on the Discord. And those of you that are viewers on the show can actually join the Discord and go in and take a look at those documents as well.
Primus Secundus Tertius.
Initiatus Secundus.
Initiatus. So she will take the time to sit down and read them.
Okay, so you can feel free to do that. I've got to make an adjustment here, so give me just 2 seconds to do something.
And 100 different times periods.
Well, at least they're not as full of numbers.
No, numbers in themselves without reference are meaningless. You find heart?
Nothing yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Hart has analyzed the second prophecy.
I'm back.
That
Sorry
is
about that.
That is which one?
Hart has analyzed the second prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
With Silphe.
When you mentioned the word of Sophe, the Eldrin look at each other and they go, "That's a really old word that you're using there. It means the gate to fairy, the gate to home, where we come from."
We must find that place then.
No, we found it.
Where?
We found the gate in the nowhere. In the fairylands. There
That
was a
was-
great gate, but it was closed.
We must find the real gate, not a vision of it.
It was not a vision, Heart. I was there. Freya was there. The paladin was there.
Yes, but we need to go to it.
I don't think it's a place you can... I think we were lured in there. Okay? I mean...
Who lured you there, and who did you speak with, and what are you talking about? We haven't been able to go to Sylphe in ever, as long as
That's-
we've had memory.
If you're talking about Fairyland with Oberon and Titania,
How do you know those names?
because in the history of my own people, that's what the king of the and the queen of the fairies was.
So this is a figment of your historic imagination, then.
I don't think so. I was on the frozen waste. My companions and I had stopped during the night, built a shelter, and where two of us slept together, and on the other side of the fire, two more slept. Somewhere in the night, the paladin that was with me got up. The elf that was with him came over to my side of the... And Hart, I don't know what happened to him, nor Ice Shelf, but they were cut off from us.
Gene, You're doing that thing where you're telling everybody the entire backstory that you don't really need to tell.
Okay, we got separated. We saw
No,
a fo-
you were taken to this place. You're saying
uh
you were drawn
no,
to this place.
we were drawn
You
to
said
this
the
place.
word lured, so it suggests a negative connotation. Did they do something horrible to you there?
No, they wanted to if put my if they took I took the blindfold off my face. When we first went there, it was because there was trees and we wanted to get firewood to put on the fire. Once we walked into it, we turned around to go back and there was nothing. So we turned around
Well,
and
that sounds like one of the entrances to our realm. But where do you say Sylphe is? Are you saying that Sylphe is in the north?
where we walked into it was on the slopes of the Shatterhorn. It wasn't there once we left.
You
The
destroyed
trees.
it?
No, the trees disappeared. There are no trees where we were.
You're
I
making no
was
sense. You're making
Gene,
no
okay,
sense.
in meta, just stop.
we were so far north there were no trees.
No, I get that, Gene. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
In the meta, I get what you've told them, that you've seen their home world, their home, their gateway.
If it is the same place.
If it is the same place, that's astonishing, and they're asking whether or not you can relocate it, and you can't. So
I can't.
You're better to not talk longer and get them thinking that you're
More confused and more crazy.
right, because saying that you saw it in the middle of a in a snowfield is not rational, and while it is possible you may have crossed over there, the odds of going there and crossing over again is almost zero. Right, because it's not actually a gate per se.
Yeah.
So it's more important for you to remember what you saw and heard there in reference to how you might be able to find it again.
I do know there was
For
a
example, if somebody had something that they had gotten while there, then we could possibly, research how to find it, because there are spells like locate object.
Freya had found something. It was some magic seeds.
Oh, so we have those to work with then.
No, she planted those seeds, and that plant grew down into the
You
vet.
don't want to. No, again, Gene, you don't want to tell them everything.
Okay.
Bless your
She-
heart. I know you want to make sure that everybody knows that you remembered, but you don't want to necessarily tell
Okay.
everybody.
She planted the seeds.
No, you don't even have to say that. You just say, no,
Okay.
we don't have them because she's not here.
Yeah, we don't have them. She's not here.
I'm asking, does anybody from among your group still have anything that belonged to this other place?
Jean's the only person that went there that's here.
Right. So I'm asking her if she has anything.
Only the blindfold.
You have the elven blindfold.
No, actually, the blindfold was put on me before I ever got to the Elven City. I don't know the origin of the blindfold. It was just a piece of cloth.
But do you still have it?
Yes.
If it was placed on you by an elf to protect the gate to our world, then that would be something. If it's just a piece of cloth that was in your possession that they used, then it wouldn't. So you need to determine whether or not that was from the Eldrin or not.
No, they didn't put it on my eyes.
That's all I needed to know.
They didn't put it on my eyes. We were told that I couldn't.
So you're not going to be able to find your way back there.
No, I'm sorry.
So, no, my point is that when you got excited and said, I've been there, there's no way you can substantiate that you were ever there.
Yeah.
You have no physical evidence. You have
So a
memories.
vision.
You saw a vision. You may have thought you were there. There's no way to prove you were there. And this is actually meant so that if Stephen gets to take a look at this episode, he'll realize that using the seeds when he did prevented them to be used here as a way to track where the place was.
Or their true purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, I think he also stole an apple, so I don't know if he still has the apple or not.
No, the paladin had an apple.
Ah, got you. Yeah, so therefore there's more than one item is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but
Well, we could try going back to the limb and getting a bean that the limb was using to make the beanstalks, transmuting itself.
Possibility. There's
We
always
could
a
try
chance.
following the butterflies that were flying off.
There's all kinds of things. All kinds of things that could be done. All right. Let's see.
okay, there is only one thing she said. There were high elves there, and they were stuck there because the gate was closed, and they too are trying to find the way back.
Wait. Whoa. The elves that are there were Primus.
I don't know one elf from another,
Then
except
why? Then why did you say high elves?
okay, there were elves there.
Yes, we've already ascertained that. I just
Okay,
was clarifying. You don't know
one elf from another.
a hat from a handbasket, right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clarifying. All right. Whew, that was close. All right. So, nonetheless, they tell you that the Sylpha you're looking for is probably their home world, their home.
What is that land called?
Sylpha.
Does it have any other names known to other people?
Is it a Nycosian home?
No,
Is it
the Feyri. The only place that there was access was in a nation destroyed recently called Nyx.
Oh, well, we can nix that idea then.
Mm-hmm.
A whole
Where was
land?
Nyx?
I'm sorry to hear a whole land was destroyed.
Yeah, it was your people that did it.
Then I am even sorrier.
Eh, happens all the time.
Where was Nyx? Perhaps we could go there.
In the mountains south of Corum, near the wilderlands of Daya.
How far is this?
Pulls out the map, shows you where it is.
A long way.
Half the world away.
Oh dear.
And without the V8, we'll be traveling on foot.
Unless you have a way to get us there.
I don't, but our sister Miri of Elwindale in Bridgeton might be able to get you someplace close.
Is that the place called Candle Scratch?
It is.
Under Kosh and above Nagrik Khan.
Mm-hmm.
She takes out her map. Can you show me on my map?
She does. He does.
It's Candle Scratch. The big. If you're looking at the map of Nycos, it is white lettering, far next on the western coast. Candle Scratch.
Of Growland.
It's a little green blip in the middle of the mountains.
Okay. And you say Nyx is below that.
That is.
Nyx is that.
They call it Candle Scratch now because Nyx no longer exists. They can't bear to say its name because the nation was destroyed.
Okay.
Not once, but thrice in this same generation it's been destroyed.
Not my fault, maybe.
Hashtag not your fault.
This
Arguably,
place,
only two of them are your fault. The third one really wasn't your fault, so yeah.
seems like people have a lot to answer for.
The second one is vaguely related to me. I wouldn't blame me for it. I wouldn't really blame me for any of them, but
the third
either
one
way.
was kind of obvious. But no one was there. Nobody saw you do it. Can't prove anything.
Sure. We can go with that. Anyways, so how, if our mission is related to what this is saying in the second prophecy,
Sure.
then it is up to us to go to this Silphe place and search for faith.
Hmm. Could be yours to do. What are you upon what are you basing that it is you?
That you mentioned that it was the second, and that
I said first, second, or third. I didn't specify.
it also said that with dust and splinters of the shard, the test is grim, the challenge hard, and we have a grim, and we also have dust and splinters of.
Aha! So you've seen Dust and Splinters. Gotcha.
This is in meta.
Right. That's
Other than that,
That's why I thought you might want to make sure you have that conversation with Peekaboo and Valara, so they know exactly what it is you're talking about.
Okay.
Speak away, Heart.
I'm talking in meta.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk to them in meta so that they understand what it is, where you're thinking that you're going, and why. That's
as far as I know, if because I don't think that there's any other group that is following this trail as of yet. Friday somewhat knows about it, but they have a quest of their own that is mentioned elsewhere.
right.
And this is the whole main body of the second prophecy is about finding faith, and where faith is found, and to trust in the heralds and whatever else.
Right.
A quest more glorious than the search for Noah's Ark seems to be quite out of place. Just look for signs of Isaac's race, so it has something to do with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Valar in our party,
Mm-hmm.
which is certainly trained.
Right.
Would link into that.
Right.
And if you take in the capital letters of, or not the capital letters, but to solve all the little riddles in that section, it comes out with the word Silphe.
Right.
So that is where we would look for Noah's Ark / faith.
Gotcha.
In terms of it meaning to us, all I can go off of is the mention of Noah's Ark, Isaac's race, which seems to be part of our pure view, and also with dust and splinters of the shard.
Right. So yeah, and in particular the Ark reference, the Isaac's race reference is speaking specifically of the mortals, the humans from Earth.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Noah's Ark comes from my.
That's
world.
exactly why there's a reference to it. It says, why does this part have to do anything with Isaac's race? Plus, you're the one that evoked scripture earlier.
Yeah.
So
Noah's Ark comes out of our religious.
So why should it have anything to
knowledge.
do with Valara's race besides that she is coming along, and that is strange for one of them to be saving Nycos.
Mm-hmm.
So is that enough to go on?
Well, let's see. What else have you got here that you don't have anyplace else? You got a dwarf, so you can get into the dwarvish places. You have a halfling, so you can get into some of the nations of the halflings that haven't been contacted by other people. And we have you. Well, gosh, you seem to be able to get into a lot of places.
Or none at all.
Or none at all. Or be completely shut out and ignored as a tool. But
yeah.
But at least you have friends now, so.
So, either way, that's a possibility.
Well, so the good news is that you're not that far from Bridgeton, so you can probably get to one of the. You can probably petition the heroes of Cauldron. We shouldn't call them that anymore. We should call them the Dawn Guard, because the Cauldron is no more. And everybody takes off their hats because they remember that there were people of Eldrin race there that died too.
So in meta, what are we thinking here?
I think that Isaac's children. He's a prophet in the Bible.
I'm talking
our holy
in meta,
book.
Gene.
Okay. It seems that we have many of the aspects of that.
Well, that's just, looking with
One set
ad
of eyes.
hoc,
Right.
because we can link anything to anything. You show me any poem, I can link us to it.
It does.
Um,
The reason why I believe that he's asking this is he wants it to be a decision where you guys are all part of it instead of just choosing a direction and going in that way. There are 4 of you here to decide. Technically, 3 of you have got an opinion that have been pretty strong in the past. So let's do what you guys collectively want to do.
I only noticed that, and I noticed that the other campaigns have all chosen a somewhat different direction. However, Wednesday is also heading in this direction, but not to this end. They're dealing more with the armies of the Blinn and whatnot. So perhaps this is an easier mission for a younger crowd? Maybe not? I don't know.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, if we do that, we're gonna need a lot of AOEs.
AOEs?
If we're gonna be dealing with an army.
We're not dealing with the army.
That's what we're saying.
Okay.
Clearly, you guys are not the ones that are equipped to fight the army. As a matter of fact, we made it really kind of clear that the Wednesday crowd are the ones that are preparing to go to war, and they needed to find where the enemy of the North is. Guess what? You found the enemy of the North before they did. Which is the way I usually run things. Travis will tell you, I usually give clues to the wrong group. and then make them figure out how to get the information to the others.
Oh no, I knew exactly who the enemy was.
I know you know who the enemy is. Doesn't make you happy, I know.
It's John.
It's me.
Yeah, it's always John.
Yeah, of course. When it's not John, it's always John.
All the
It's not
enemies and all the
John.
friends are John and John and John.
The point is, it's John's alter egos that are our friends and our enemies.
The point is this is one of the quests laid out in the prophecies that isn't being tackled by anybody, and we have no hook to follow. So
Okay.
there's a possibility there if you wanted to pursue it.
Well, the good news is it looks like we'll be able to play tomorrow night, too. They called off my MET for tomorrow.
Oh, good.
I'm very surprised to see that.
Well, are we playing the 1 o'clock game
Of course.
at 1 o'clock? Okay.
Of course, we're not changing up the 1 o'clock schedule. We're just they closed the mandatory 5th day MET that was scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled for NL6, which is my schedule.
Oh, cool.
Well, I appreciated your time. You are no longer held accountable for the MET on April 24th. Thank you a lot.
Good.
So,
Hopefully that's good.
well, they just hired a whole wave of new pickers, and so because they've got more people on the floor, they don't have the backlog they usually have.
Good.
So, anyway, so that was.
So what are your thoughts on that, John? Is there any guidance you can give us?
Well, there's been underrepresentation in terms of contact with the halfling species and the dwarves. What little you guys have had contact with the Grimm has been somewhat
Very negative.
yeah, well, in certain cases very negative, in other cases only somewhat helpful. Zenith, being the insane king of the dwarves, has not been the most useful access.
The only dwarf that I, as a player, have interacted with that was a positive was a very nerve-wracking experience with one that was controlling an army of drones.
Yes.
And that was creepy as hell. So
yeah, he definitely is not not a credible source for dealing with what the dwarves are up to. So you guys have, even if you don't do anything else but pursue those 2 angles, there are nations on both continents that are made up of halflings, and there are, of course, all of the dwarves on the planet haven't even been represented in anything so far. So
me personally am not looking forward to interacting with halflings because they're often very annoying. But that's me personally.
yeah, she goes, what?
I'm saying this in meta.
Oh,
Halflings are my favorite things in the world. They are precious and need to protect.
Absolutely, they're adorable and not to be counted on to go to war.
true.
Do you want the halflings all sent to war?
You did not watch Lord of the Rings.
They weren't that good at war. That's her point. That's his point.
They weren't sent to war. They were on a specific mission to go to a secret place surrounded by mountains to bring back a wonderful thing, which is what I'm offering. But that's beyond the point.
That's
Talking
true.
about Marion and Pip.
But even they individually were adequate as they, especially Pippin ends up being a good warrior. But relatively speaking, we're talking about the fact that we're talking about the nations. You wouldn't want a war to come to the Shire. That's the only thing we're suggesting.
No, you don't want to meet them beyond the Shire.
But yes,
No, I'm just saying that me personally have had a lot of frustrating experiences with dwarves and for halflings, but that is just for my opinion on it. It should have no bearing whatsoever on
the collective.
the collective.
It should be a consideration, just like anybody else's opinion should be a consideration.
Yes.
Valara still is technically looking for her people, which she's just now found out there are some here, so she hasn't talked to them yet. So that's something
No.
else that we can definitely do while we're here. Peekaboo's going. There's the dealing with the local musicians guild and the Jubilethans that are going to want to pick on Peekaboo for a bit as well.
Sure.
And
Pass notes.
Yeah, I will, but right now I'm
and
just
Hart wanted to
trying to-
finish the actual making of the device for his chest and all of that. So mechanically, we have things to do here. That's all that we have at this point. I just was clarifying that the direction you wanted to go was you're going to pursue the Sylphay angle, which means you'll have to go to Bridgeton to get to the bridge, to get to one of the gateways to try to get close enough.
Well, that's if the party decides that that's what they want to
Pursue.
pursue. That's all I'm trying to get at is
Since these elves have been, these are the nicest elves that you've dealt with so far. These are the nicest people you've dealt with so far. You may want to support their hope or their wish for.
Oh, I'm for sure. Hart's willing to die for these guys already, so they have his heart after all.
Yes. So I'm just clarifying that angle is an obvious one, but it doesn't have to be the only one. And of course, the world is still yours to pursue. So I just want to make sure that you guys come up with a decision of what you want to do that all of you can be okay with, and move forward on.
I'm scanning through the third to see if there's any other hooks
Sure.
that might apply to us in this situation.
Mm-hmm. Peekaboo, you will be approached by several of the bards of the Orange Vale that suggest that you might want to consider joining their number, and that they would be willing to train you in skills that you don't have access to in trade for you providing the Jubilethans with information on a regular basis on what you find no matter where you go.
As long as there's no rules.
As long as there's no rules?
Yeah.
Well, there would only be one rule, and that is you need to report to us every night in song.
Okay.
And it has to be a doublet, and it has to be at least 10 words long. How's that?
A doublet and
A couplet. Couplet. That's what I meant to say.
couplet.
like a couplet.
Yeah.
Like 2 lines.
Two
Two
lines.
lines.
2 lines that have to have a
Rhyme.
poetic rhyme. Right.
Oh, so a 5-3-5.
No,
it's
that-
two
That
lines.
would a
That's a
haiku.
haiku. That's a
Okay,
Japanese
a couplet.
poem.
If
I know, I'm teasing.
Yeah. 535's haiku.
Yeah, sure.
Just a 2-line couplet, at least 12 words long.
Like this,
Rocky
trials
is
resulting in returns to the tombs, the rhythm established a weft of the loom.
There you
That
go.
would be a couplet.
Exactly.
Okay, or Rocky is my name, my fists are my fame.
Got it.
So
Or Rocky Balboa is my name.
and the requirement is that each chronological day in the campaign you'll have to write one of those. So if we're playing, like for example, today we played through 3 days of action, you would owe the system, so to speak, 3 couplets.
Get yourself a
Okay.
rhyming dictionary. It makes it easy.
And to make it easy,
Oh no, I've got all the resources I need.
she's pretty good. She's pretty good on resources. The other thing is you just put it directly into the um, Discord under Shatterhorn. That way we'll build
Okay.
an ongoing story of how this goes. So that way when you're done, we'll have the Ballad of the Shatterhorn that you can take credit for everything having written.
Cool.
Sound good to you?
Sounds good.
All right. That'll keep the bard and the halfling busy. And in trade, we'll teach you skills that you wouldn't normally have. So they'll go with each for every 10 of the couplets you complete, we'll give you something new to work on. How does that sound?
Okay.
That way we take into account some adventure days we might stay in the same day, over the entire period of a day. So therefore, you won't have to have something due, but it'll represent the time that it's going to take to get it done. Alrighty.
Sounds good.
And so then the question is, Valara, you said that once you got people to safety, that was what you thought was the end of your course. What is it you want to do now?
Okay, I found another place that could be hinted at in the third prophecy.
Okay.
It's talking about reaching out to ancient peers, and is talking about trials resulting in returns to the tombs, which could be talking about the undead that we mentioned. And then it talks about listing all the people. The pact was formed to save them all beneath the cursed Candlefall in grim deeps in Eldrin Hall, Midshire, Tink Tower, Root Crawl. But crafty Blinn Wood did breach the wall, ending in the missing call. So, this seems to hint at all of these powers having come together in the past or needing to come together in the future in order to prevent the Blinn from breaching the wall and silencing the dragon's voice. Or vice, maybe that's unrelated. I don't know.
That's actually that's a good interpretation of what you read.
Other than that,
Rocky, you got your background in the back there.
Oh, it's AC.
other than I don't really know. It's
Okay, for Valara, meta. Yes, I've gotten these people to safety, but they're talking about going out again. And quite honestly, she feels she owes these people something for what her people have done to them. It's like, okay, if I can help you in some way, I would. But again, she's kind of stuck on what is the best way to help them. So she was going to go talk to the others just to find out if anybody has any bullets. Does anybody, maybe you gave up your gun, but does any of you keep your bullets?
Nice.
And you have anything, a 1, 2, it has to fit this caliber, and she chose the caliber.
My God, just
things keep on flashing up on my screen. It's like Microsoft is having a cat cow. I don't even understand what it's asking to do. I keep hitting cancel and getting it off the screen.
okay. I'll look at your screen after the thing. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where the beeping is coming from. It's like gone stupid.
It sounds like it's trying to open something that's in the background. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
No,
and I don't.
It sounds like a wire is not being connected, and so it keeps connecting and disconnecting.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's so spastic and random that it doesn't make sense, and I don't have anything hooked up.
It's more than likely your headphones.
My headphones are wireless and not plugged in.
That could be a problem with your Bluetooth reception then.
Could be even the batteries in your headset, because if they're spotty, you wouldn't have
Okay,
constant
I'll
connection.
plug it back in.
Just a thought. I'm just
Yeah,
giving
I
you-
did earlier and it didn't seem to stop it. That was the first thing I did, is take it off so that it wasn't this problem.
Okay.
No, just don't worry about it. I'll troubleshoot it with you later.
Okay. I will plug myself back in.
She's
But I did recharge it for 2 hours this afternoon while we took a break.
got you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I don't know what to do, guys.
Okay. I'm just going to take some time to go out and talk to the others. Then I'm going to come back and tell the group how I'm feeling.
I will say one thing, John.
Yep.
It's been a very, very long time since we leveled up.
Oh no, I forgot to mention we're milestoning here, so you successfully got here, so that is when you would level up. So
Well, we've done a lot since I don't know. It's just been a really long time.
Yeah, but a lot of it was just traveling too and seeing, not really.
Yeah, we did a lot though. The whole
7th iteration destroyed the world at level 5 and level 6.
well, that sucks. I was just wondering if I had missed one while or something.
no, I was intending to. Well, maybe you might have. Did we, when we left
Well,
Reliquary? You should have leveled up. I thought we did then.
Yeah, I'm at level 2 right
Yeah,
now.
because I'm at level 4.
Right now I'm at level 3.
Then I would be level 4.
Right.
You and I
Okay.
would be very similar. So
Okay.
now we're at level 5.
Okay.
Well,
then-
okay. So when you go to talk to the other Gene, as you're walking along, do you still have the translator box, or did you give that back?
She has a new one that she got from the.
Okay, so as you're walking along, the translator box comes on. The voice says, "Hello, Valara."
Who is this?
Uh,
She looks around to see who's speaking, who might be looking at her.
You recognize the voice. It's that deadpan male voice from your voice box. Hello, Valara.
Hello?
It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone.
What was it you'd like to talk about?
Patriotism, Valara. Patriotism.
I understand patriotism.
That's why I depend on you. You're so loyal. So useful.
Who are you?
I am a free Jana.
I am sorry I don't know you.
We have but spoken once before. And a flash of the insect's face comes across the screen, which it doesn't even have.
The insect?
Mhm.
You said you didn't know who I was. No, it was the other guy who said he didn't know who I was. The human.
Oh, I know you. I've been waiting for a long time. Did you bring it with you, or do we have to find it?
Bring what?
The truth. 39 books, 27 books. Come on, you know.
The Bible?
Bing, bing, bing. You're on a roll. We need to bring the truth to these heathens. Aren't you ready?
That's
I'm depending on
Earth.
you.
Wait a moment. I don't have the book with me.
Well, I guess we'll have to find it. There are a few of them laying around here. We just have to figure out where they are. Good to know you're on our side, though. And enjoy your afternoon. I'm sure that I'm sure you might be able to find someone that can help your cause. Semper Fi, soldier. Friet no out.
Uh, she closes. She shuts down the box.
It wasn't
She
even
makes,
turned on. Wasn't even plugged in. There's no battery power loss.
no, no. They were running that installation. It was something beyond.
First signs.
Be,
First step is always denial. All right. Moving on to Heart. Heart. After the processing, and they've given you time to work on your emblem for the
It's
evening.
probably what he's working on. Yeah.
Right. As you're hammering away on your piece of metal, there's another hammer that falls right next to yours. Bing, bing, and you look up into the glowing red eyes of a human figure, broad of shoulder, very dark of skin, bald-headed, ivory tooth in his ear, like an earring. He goes, "So, a soul forger like me, pound, 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 pound.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm really nobody. They call me Grissom. Pound, pound,
I am
pound,
Heart.
pound. Yes, Hart. We have so much in common. You you have looked a long time for friends, haven't you? Pound, 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 pound.
Yes.
Would you like to make some in the future?
Always.
Then I make you this promise. Get us to the forges of Vafthrender, and I'll let you make as many friends as you can. Pound, 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 pound.
Make what friends?
And all of them you want. Tall ones, short ones. The sky will be the limit once we get to Vafthrender. Will you help me get to Vafthrender? Pound,
I don't
pound,
know.
pound, pound. It's good that you question. I'm sure we'll talk again. Pound, pound. And then there's a puff of heat, and he's gone.
He flattened that side out too much.
So you put the curve back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that as you're hammering, you realize that there actually was an indentation on the metal, so at least he was actually tangibly there for a few swings of the hammer.
Yeah. Interesting.
Uh-huh. So
It's a
Peekaboo's
mixture
third.
of interesting and confusing.
Your Peekaboo's what?
Peekaboo's
third?
third now, then?
Yes, Peekaboo's third.
All right.
I'm working on her stats right now.
Good, good, good.
Jacob, what did you go up to?
He'd have to be third as well. He'd be second or third because I think he came in after Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Same day.
Same day. Alrighty.
She kind of stops before she goes anywhere else.
Okay. Well, up ahead of you, you can see that they've got two of the old walking boxes that they're using as quarters for the others. They've got them suspended from the trees like giant bowers.
Okay. She sees if she can find anybody on the ground.
Oh, sure.
Right now she's just carrying through, but only half of her mind is on this.
Right, right. So as you're walking forward, you see the humans are playing. Oh, they're playing their own music. It's a little bit more upbeat, but they're playing on a violin and kazoo and a harmonica. You know, human instruments, not stuff that came from other worlds.
Oh God, she's gonna have to struggle with Taryn, but I mean, you don't totally forget it.
You don't. You definitely speak it with a bit of a common accent now.
Now it's saying printer detection. Damn printer. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
The computer loves you.
It hates me. It's been doing this. Okay. I should unplug it and just forget about it. I have to just close this down. Okay.
Clearly, you're having a disconnected moment here as you approach the human
Yeah, I am
community.
because there's something I don't like. I don't know who that. I know that person's a damn bug, and to her, what is he prattling about patriotism and semper fi? That those words shouldn't even be on his lips or his mandibles or his voice ability to speak. Taryn. So she goes up and she says, "Hello.
Um, howdy, howdy. Welcome to our little humble abode.
Where are you from?"
Oh, I'm from South Georgia. This is Cecily. She's my wife. She's from New York. She talks a little bit fast, but most of the time she lets me do the talking because she's not so good at this common thing.
I speak Terran if you'd be more comfortable.
Yeah, we kind of don't prefer to speak that language. We don't want to offend our neighbors. They've been so kind to us ever since they gave us quarter.
I totally understand. Yes, they have been very kind and gracious hosts.
Anyway, he motions to Cecily, and Cecily goes in the kitchen. She says, "You want something to drink? We got some homemade hooch, and I got a couple of bottles of vino that we were able to recover from one of the."
Actually, if you have some fresh water, I would adore some fresh water.
Ah,
I have been to the far north and everything was melted ice. The
well,
only water we
ain't
could
ain't
get.
much ain't much purer water than frozen ice, I can tell you. But yeah, we get you some water.
It has a funny taste. It's flat.
Yep. So they bring you some fresh spring water from a bowl inside the tree.
But it's bubbly because she didn't ask for Stielwasser.
Exactly. Nice.
That's fine. It's natural effervescence is fine.
And it has a little spring to it.
Exactly. Little tiny metal piece that goes round and round and round. You got to throw out the spring before you drink it.
Okay, she drinks
Made
it.
of lemon.
So
Exactly.
how long have you been here?
Oh, Cecily, how long's it been? About 18 weeks now. Ever since the landing.
It's about when you came, didn't it?
But no, we can't.
You have no idea. You can't remember. You fell in the snowstorm. You don't know how long you laid in the snow. You don't know how long it took to get to the. I mean, there's so many variables in the time frame. There's no way if you know.
I have one reference.
Right. He has turn on moment.
No, but also, she can now speak Common, which means that it must be at least 10 weeks.
That's right.
That means that it's at least within a month or so of when they fell.
Right.
That's not quite.
That
Also-
means you would have to be in the same main ship, if
Did you
not the
come
same
with the
drop.
first wave?
She looks at others. What other wave you talking about? I ain't seen no others.
So you dropped about 18 weeks ago.
Yeah, thereabouts. Don't know the exact date. We kind of get lost in this weirdness of the two suns and stuff.
Yeah, not exactly our time.
Oh, you get used to it. You get used to it, especially when we start to pick up a few of the let's just say some of the benefits of being a local.
Yes.
So he sits back and he puts, he's been packing a pipe, and he sits back and lights the pipe with his thumb.
What pod were you in?
Oh, we was in we were in 107.
Okay, I was in B25.
Oh yeah, that would have been south of the scupper, because those were lettered as well as numbered. That's because you're military.
Okay.
We're part of the communications corps.
Not much communication around here to be done.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I think we've already picked up what 2, 3 languages we've been working on. We picked up Eldrin. We picked up Eldrin in our first 10 weeks.
I just got common recently.
Yeah.
You military boys are always slow.
Yeah. You only get one language at a time. We've been working on 3. That Dwarven's a little easier, but it's got more inflection in the tones.
Sin it.
It's all those phlegm words.
You gotta feel like a rock's in your throat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawk, two, ding.
She laughs. It's been a long time since she laughed. That's funny.
Well, thanks. And so, by the look of that long rifle, you're a sniper.
Well, actually, I was Special Forces detached to
Kill team.
No, a scientific team.
Yeah. Yeah. With a long rifle like that, you look like you're kill team.
I was not in a kill team. I was their sniper or their defense.
Yeah.
But ours is made.
Long rifle's such a good defense weapon. Don't mean to offend, and I don't particularly care because those days are bygone, long gone.
She's chosen her path, and she's Arctic survival.
Good. I'm glad. No, I'm glad. I'm glad to know that you learned all those Arctic survival skills. Of course, I hate to tell you, but down here there ain't no snow.
Well, I understand that. I was
No.
up
I
for-
just want to clarify. There ain't no snow. It ain't never snowed here.
Okay.
So
I
it
have
does
just
snow here frequently.
lived the last 12 or 14 weeks in a place of Arctic conditions.
Yeah, you was north in Carpathia. I get that.
Was it Carpathia? No.
Cryopathia.
That's what I said. Carpathia.
Okay. No,
Okay,
Carpathia.
just like our president used to say, nuclear. You know,
Nuclear.
chiropathia. That's what it is. Cryopathia. Chiropathia.
I could use some chiropractic.
Exactly.
Okay. So do you know of anybody that might have any 50 caliber bullets?
What? Oh hell no! We melted all that down long ago. And that stuff don't work anyway. How long you had that rifle? The whole 18 weeks?
Yeah.
Take a look down the barrel and tell me what you see. I bet you ain't taken that apart and cleaned it in months.
It's been under wraps.
Yeah. Take a look.
Okay, she cracks the barrel and takes a look.
He pulls the trigger. Bang!
Yeah. Nope. From the breech load all the way to the tip of the muzzle, it's solid.
But when I took that, you took it away from me.
That was the shotgun. It's a smaller weapon.
I'm teasing.
Yeah.
What is it filled with?
Gray material. Sign of a silvery gray.
He's gonna have to get it cleaned.
He looks at you and says, "Here, give it a shot." I tried to do it with my pistol. It didn't take but 2 weeks until I couldn't use it no more. He hands you a rat tail rasp. You know what a rasp is, right?
Yes, I do, and the rat tail is the one that's a rounded rasp.
Yep. And you poke it, and that stuff that's in the middle is a metal, solid metal.
It has to be totally rebored.
No, it's ruined.
It's what?
It's
Ruined.
R-U-N-T, ruined. Ain't gonna work no more. Now it's a nice big heavy metal rod, great for smacking people upside the head.
Peekaboo, this is where you come in with a banjo, just
My skin crawls
Well,
at that.
Yeah, well, you have to realize that we traveled up here yonder from the south through Growling.
I can do that with my kazoo.
You came up from where? Where did you land?
Where did we land? We landed over there in Coram.
Okay.
Out on the west side. A place called World's Edge. You ever heard of it?
No.
Some freaky shit going on over there, man. There's a storm. Looked like Katrina, just sitting there boiling off the coastline, all the damn time. Never goes away. Crazy shit. I went out there and tried to go fishing, and it was kind of fine. We did fine until I saw these airships flying up above, and this little girl she must have been 12, fell out of the sky, went kerplop right there in the ocean near us. It was awful. We had to fish her out.
Damn it.
She's 9 to dead.
Where is she now?
Well, they had
Hopefully dead.
They had a priest, and he performed some kind of rite on her, and she kind of screeched and tried to tear his eyes out, so he threw her overboard.
Thank God. John, you're playing with my emotions here. It's one or the other. Just pick one.
No, it's that old fortunately, unfortunately, you know. Fortunately, you fell out of... fortunately, we got a free airplane ride. Unfortunately, you fell out of the airplane. Fortunately, you were falling towards a bale of hay. Unfortunately, it was
It was on a cart and moving.
No, it was a pitchfork sticking up out of it. Fortunately, you missed the pitchfork. Unfortunately, you also missed the haystack. But anyway, no, they threw her overboard. We saw her go down. We watched her make sure she went down once. She went down twice. And when she went down the third time, she held up that middle finger. And I don't know what that meant. I mean, I know what that meant, but they didn't know what they meant. Don't know where she learned that, but I think she must have run into somebody from our world as well.
Hallelujah.
She totally does not understand. She hears the words. She just can't imagine the situation of saving a child and then...
She weren't no child. No more than that banjo player's a child. I can see her lifeline. Ain't you a little bit older one, aren't you? A little bit.
Someone noticed.
She's going, little fist pump. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm a big girl now.
That's funny. The big girl now reference. That's really funny. Alrighty, here. Where'd it go?
So just for your guys' edification, I think the person that they're talking about is one Chastity.
It was Chastity Beale.
She's a fucking monster.
She is. She's evil incarnate. She has gotten
horrifying.
She had gotten trapped in the World's End storm, and Travis, doing a good deed, tried to save her until he realized she was a real monster, and then he kicked her off the ship, literally.
No. I was on to her from the beginning, but when they wanted to bring her on the ship, but then I saw her open her face sideways, and I said nope. And that's when we Spartan kicked her into the ocean, which is the worst fate I can imagine. Then she came back, and I had to do it again. This time with a lightning lure. Which was one of the coolest things I've done with a combat spell, by the way.
Throwing her back in the water.
Yeah, I was like, John, how far is it from where she's standing to the mast? It's only like a 5-foot wide ship. I'm like, perfect. Lightning lure. She fails. She gets pulled off 10 feet, goes flying over the edge. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ha ha ha.
And he never was certain that she actually died, so I just gave him a little bit of closure there. But I had fun with it first.
Yeah.
I'm a bad man.
Yes, you are. Me last night and him tonight.
Exactly.
Bad llama.
What's that?
Bad llama.
Oh, guess what? Peekaboo. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Thank you for mentioning it. Guess what the halflings on Nycos ride as their steeds?
No.
Battle llama.
Yes.
You can go and pick one out of the stables. As a champion of Nycos, they will give you one of their battle llamas.
I find the fluffiest one.
It's so fluffy!
Does it get an AC bonus due to fluff?
It does. It does. It basically acts kind of like the
It has
displacer.
wire hair. Instead of long hair, it's like a wired hair dog. These great big tight curls, all like an
But
afro.
right. But
So
more
it's
importantly,
so like
it's alpaca. So it acts like a displacer beast. So when they try to hit it, they're more likely just to hit the fluff instead. So
is
when
it
you see
like
them fight, literally fur is flying around them.
oh that's fantastic.
Also, they have a 15-foot spit radius,
Oh that's great.
and they
It's
can kick.
pure acid.
And well, no, but it smells really bad, and so if they spit on somebody, they can't get rid of the smell until they actually bathe. So you can actually use it as a tracking function. That's how the
I have to name it Cusco.
really.
Ah,
I'd go something cuter, to go with peekaboo.
Oh, that's true.
couscous.
No.
Peekaboo and seeker.
I had a Charlotte's Web theme going on. I'm gonna
So
name
did
him
we.
Wilbert. I'm gonna name him Wilbert.
Wilbur.
Or Templeton.
Templeton.
That's my unseen servant.
Templeton is your unseen servant.
Yeah.
Oh no, we haven't heard you summon it yet. That's hysterical.
No. That's in my other campaign, and I am planning on once I get my lore, magic. That's the first spell I'm going for is unseen servant.
Nice.
But yes, that is a thing.
I totally.
Wasn't there a horse in that? Charlotte's Web?
There
Is
was.
it?
Yes, there was.
Yes,
Oh,
it was.
It was insulting though. It didn't like the pig.
No.
It was one of the snotty ones.
Right.
Snooty ones.
Yeah, but I can just see Peekaboo with the way we described her as that little character running up and seeing the alpacas and running into the crowd of them and going, "He's so fluffy," like the girl from Despicable Me.
Oh God, yes, Agnes.
Agnes, that's it. He's so fluffy.
That's so fluffy. I'm gonna die.
Exactly. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I had completely forgotten about that. So yeah, battle llamas.
And that means I need to name my fine flow Millie or something else when I get it. I'll figure it out when I come to that road.
Sleep on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Valara at this point just kind of gives up. She's so disappointed about the gun.
Why are you disappointed about the gun?
Now it's a club.
It was never meant to be a proper club.
Oh,
It's not a club.
You want to trade for a proper club? I can get you a proper club.
I don't want a club.
Well, what do you want? You want to kill people at long range? You already have a composite bow, which nobody else has.
And more than that, I have a couple compound composite bows
That's
out
what
of
I'm-
a.
Yes,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Gene, is that your character has already gotten a weapon type that nobody else has. So,
Yeah.
the fact
No,
that-
but
the
it's
fact
just
that the fact that I'm depriving you from a one-shot, one-kill weapon as a moderately low-level character, you
Okay.
shouldn't be upset with me about that.
No,
No, I
I'm not. She was just hoping.
Here, keep it with you. It's someday you can get a cleric to cast a greater restoration on it.
There is that.
Yeah.
That-
She's not
no.
going to abandon it, but she does pack it away in grease, and she does.
It'll rather
Wrap
fix
it up.
it or it'll burst into a tree. One or the other will work.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then she just packs it away for now, and it will go with stuff.
You know, if only you knew someone who had a Dremel and
And a lot of patience.
a lathe and read all of the some of the many books of Ling's library about metalworking and
Yeah, I know, but right now, with 3 bullets, it's not that useful either. It would allow her to kill 3 things out of necessity, and that's what it would be. But okay, so she has to. She's gonna go looking for a sword, but she hasn't. Well,
let
maybe-
it go, let it go.
You want a sword?
Wait, sorry, we already left the snow plane. Sorry.
Right, exactly. Now, as far as the sword, the humans here, two of them are blacksmiths, and They say they heard about your blacksmith as well.
Yes,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
he's a fine fellow.
Yeah, never seen anything like him. You think he'd join our guild?
I'll ask him,
Oh, that'd be cool.
but I
Appreciate
don't
it.
know how long we're going to be here. It depends on what we decide.
Well, even if you guys want to travel or whatever, this is a great base of operations. The Eldrin music keeps away most of the nuisances, and the agreement that we have with the Eldrin keep us from having to deal with the burdensome humans to the west of us.
You know, in Meta, I'm just really glad we didn't go to Florin.
Yeah, Florin would have been a lot worse case.
That would suck.
Yeah.
That would have been rough. That would have been rough.
Bridgeton might have been okay.
Not as
But-
good as this, though.
No, probably not.
This is actually like arguably this was the perfect choice.
But then we were led here. It's a good thing.
By prophecy, to be guardians and champions of time.
Cord. Not cord. Heart.
Heart?
Comes
she
back
come-
to heart. Can I talk to you alone for a moment?
He looks around. Nothing but him in the forge. So,
But he has to look twice because he remembers that Grissom was here a minute ago. So
and he goes back to making sure he didn't screw up that one part.
When I was headed over towards the humans, this voice popped up speaking English on my translator, but the translator wasn't on.
Mm.
And it said it talked of patriotism. It said Semper Fi, and the voice, he called himself a Freet Dejeuner, and I remember that voice.
Free. Nah?
Yeah. Well,
I just realized I have to name her Fern.
name her Fern.
Fern the alpaca.
Fern the alpaca.
and he was spouting off all these words that should get me excited about working with this person. But I recognize the voice, and he's a bug. He was that bug I first talked to down in the installation that couldn't seem to understand me,
How do you know it was the bug?
because I recognize the voice.
I thought all voices came out as
They
this
do.
voice.
They do all come out exactly as the same voice. They come out as a voice out of the box.
Okay. But the other one didn't.
Other what didn't?
You said I recognized the voice.
I said you recognize the image on the screen, but there is no screen on a voice box. So an
Okay.
image was being transmitted to your eyes as if from the box, but you don't know where that came from.
Okay.
And it flipped through the images that you saw. It did not specifically stay only on the bug. It showed you all those faces.
Okay.
It says
What
we've talked.
you're
It
going
said,
about?
specifically, it says we've talked before, and then it showed you those faces.
Okay. What was different about this is I had images in my head, and it said we have talked before, and it showed me the images of the bug and the human. Which one was talking? I'm not sure.
Interesting.
It was
Hart
in-
had someone visit him too, who did not belong.
What did he say to you?
He hit my anvil an odd number of times. It was very annoying. His name was Grissom, and he wants me to go to Vathrender and make many, many friends. I like to make friends the old-fashioned way.
I'm sorry, didn't mine say that he wanted us to go to that same place? Or am I mixing them up?
Did your what say what?
The voice.
Did a free Dejanel want her to go to Vathrender?
Didn't say that.
No, okay, fine. Now I mixed that up.
No, he's just so glad to see that you're on the path to reestablishing the one order. He told you what we were looking for.
Oh, no, okay.
We only have to find it, and we can bring back the order and discipline of our core. Won't that be awesome? Temper Fi.
Crusaders.
No, you can't enforce God's law on people. They have
Absolutely, you
to.
can. Done throughout time.
She's totally. No, she's the modernist.
You
You
can be
know,
what
you
want.
have to.
You can be what you want, but the God that's calling upon you is a God of war.
Holy war.
Holy war. We're going to make this right. We're going to bring back the truth, and we're going to blot out the evil and the darkness.
He's holy about war. Holy war.
Exactly.
There's a "wa" in there somewhere, but holy.
No. Any war that was they called a holy war was an abomination.
Yeah, it was holy war.
Yeah, as I said, it was
Nothing
an
else.
abomination.
Yep.
It was not true to the word of God.
I'm doing a play on words, Gene.
Yeah, I understand, but you're saying it, but she's agreeing with you that it was an abomination.
Yes.
I'm not. Oh, never mind.
Let it go.
So
So
whoever
Hart is working on. He's already fitted the finest craftsmanship that he can with his finest articulators, well carven into his chest now, inlaid with gold, and twisted vines of
Yep.
green trees formed in the shape of his symbol.
Nice.
And he's finishing the final touches on the silver version that he wishes to give the elves.
Nice.
Oh, that's really beautiful, Hart.
I told you I needed hands.
Yes, and you're making good use of. And she stops, looks at a moment. She wraps her arms as far as she can around him.
Aww.
You are a good friend.
Thank you.
Whoever this person is, it's no one I will follow.
How is that related to being my friend?
Because you have helped me to see these people as worthy in themselves, and their beliefs are their beliefs, and my beliefs, or the interpretation that this being has put on the Bible is nothing that I recognize
You
to
say
be
the
true.
word Bible out loud. Cool.
Do I have any memory of that word?
Yes. It's known as the Black Book of Death in history, that it was the cause of 2 of the major wars of your time as a warrior. And it triggers a memory of you wielding a hammer in battle before.
So,
She's invoking something in your ancient past.
so he stands up, his full height, standing his all 6 legs,
Uh-huh.
extending his arms, his eye beam goes red. The saw whirs a little bit on his saw arm, and the hammer in his articulator arm creaks a little bit as he grips the
Handle just a bit tighter.
yeah. You should not say that word ever again. It is the
Okay.
Black Book of Death. It's caused many wars, which for I was created to destroy.
In the name of. No, that's the thing, is that you remember that in that scene of you doing battle, there's actually a emblem that says the word on your shoulder, like a banner. Think.
I know that's what he meant. He
yeah.
meant for which he was
Yeah.
created in order to destroy, not the book, but
Those that oppose.
everything else.
Yep.
I can totally understand.
Whoever
that-
wishes you to find that book wishes no good for you or those of this earth.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's wrong, but words can be perverted,
Oh,
and
I
it
think,
has.
what? I guess I should go check with Sean. Nobody sent me a message. It's already after 10 o'clock. I wonder if he's going to close the doors on us.
Oops.
Yep, time to close up.
All right, so
Yeah.
we are at the 10 o'clock hour, so this episode of
Slopes of the Shadowhorn.
Thank you very much. Slopes of the Shadowhorn is done for the day.
He
Thank
got
you.
it. Yes.
Yes, well done, sir. Good timing on it as well. Thank you so much for your participation, and make sure you catch up with us tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And it looks like tomorrow we'll actually have 2 sessions, so watch for us then, too. Alrighty, you guys have a great